in the contract a legal requirement every single time we appear on camera. We've got some special guests in today. The man, the myth, the legend, the co-host, co-wearer of clothes, co-breather of air is not actually in tonight. We have some special guests from the SA Titans Arm Wrestling Club. We've got the leader of the Arm Wrestling Club, leader as you can tell because he's wearing the red shirt there. It is Jack Smeaton. Nickname is Raptor. Where did you get that nickname from, Jay?
It's just been a running theme. I've got a car that's called a Raptor.
Mm-hmm.
So ever since I've heard of that, I thought, yeah, that's a pretty cool nickname. It's my gaming nickname. Now it's my arm wrestling nickname.
Are you also a car?
I am a car.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, it does fit.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Very good.
Yes.
Fantastic. We've also got one of the veterans of the SA Titans Arm Wrestling Club, the Beast himself. It is Brandon Chan, and you might see Brandon in the comments quite regularly. So it's great to see you in person in the club here as well. And we've got the buddy cop Robert, whose name I thought was Robert for about 6 months until he filled in his tournament entry form, handed it to me, and it said Alex. And I said, "Why did you write Alex?" And he said, "That's my name." And I was like, "Yeah, sure it is."
It's my fault.
It's because there was a guy that came on that night, the first night you came along, and his name was Robin. And then there was another guy who came on whose name was Robert. And then yours was Alex, which
very similar.
Remembered as Robert, which was incorrect. And I've been calling you that for the whole time. So it is Alex, actually. So welcome to the show. And yeah, it's great to have you guys here. We did do yeah, absolutely. Oh, it's good to have you. And we had a training session earlier tonight in this building, in the very building that we're in right now, the Imagination Studios here in Adelaide. And we weren't able to go to our normal place because they were doing some renovations this week. So we said, hey, let's go to the podcast studio building. And we ran a session in here. Alex, you had a super match. How did you go?
Look, I gave it my all, but my opponent was just too strong for me tonight. Couldn't outrise him. He was good in the setup, and congratulations to him. He did a great job.
Grant Law, the law man. He came with the outlaw. Yeah, there you go.
Laid down the law.
He did lay down the law tonight. What did you like? We went with the AWE rule set. What did you think of that?
I think it's fantastic. I don't want to mess around the setup. I just want to grip up and go. I don't want to cause a fuss. I don't want to fight. So I do like the way it's set up. Just getting used to the ready goes and not sort of starting to engage any sort of pressure before the hands are closed and the go is set up is something I need to work on.
Yeah, because it's the first time that you've had that thumbs closed, hands closed, go sort of style.
Exactly.
It is something that is a little bit different to the usual. But we've got a guest that's popped in, one of the regulars, Phil Woody, who's in every single arm wrestling stream that you will see anytime anybody anywhere in the world goes live. You will see Phil Woody there, and he says, "G'day, gents," and he's giving us a bicep, an English flag. I don't know what that third one is. Can anyone see what that?
It's a handshake.
Is it a handshake?
Yeah, it's a handshake.
Oh, it's two hands. Fantastic. And the Australian flag as well. So thank you, Phil. Yeah. It's fantastic. Yes, we've got some of the members of the SA Titans Arm Wrestling Club here. We've got the Raptor, we've got the Beast, and we've got Buddy Cop. And they do have real names as well, but they're not as interesting or as fun.
No one cares.
That's right. Then Brandon, you've been working away a lot, so you haven't been able to get to the club as often. The last little while, though, you've been a bit more regular. You've been working back here in Adelaide now.
Yeah, we've been getting a lot of recent local jobs working in Adelaide, so it's given me a lot more time to train, a lot more family time as well.
Oh, great.
Yeah, the money's good when we work away, but sometimes you just miss being home, no place like home. So.
Absolutely, yeah. Did you say you were in New South Wales at some point and you were going to go over to check out the Sydney Spartans Club?
No, I was in ACT. I was going to go visit the ACT, the Canberra.
Canberra, yeah, awesome.
I just never got the opportunity because we were working 12-hour days. By the time I finished work, by the time I would have made it there would have only been like half an hour left. So
yeah, that's it. It's one of those things. And when you come in right at the end of training, and then it's like everyone else is already gassed and their arm is just destroyed, and it's like.
Feel strong.
Yeah, geez. Those Canberra guys suck. They're so weak. You know?
That wasn't on purpose at all.
That's right. Yeah, it's always good. Phil Woody has written a comment here, and he says, "Man, how come you're stuck on 666 subs? Bad omen you are." Well, that wasn't my choice, Phil, but yes, we'd love to get up to that 1,000 subscriber mark. They did actually drop the monetization requirement to 500 subs on YouTube, which I got excited about because I'm over that, obviously, with 666. And I went straight to YouTube and logged in, and it said, no, you still need 1,000. I'm like, hang on, that article said 500. Reread the article, and it said, no, it's only in certain countries. And there was like 5 countries they've chosen, and Australia is not one of them. So, and it was like small random countries, you know.
What countries?
It was, I don't know. It was very small, like, you know, Malta or like
I was
Greece
thinking
or
Malta,
something like.
Maldives.
Yeah, Maldives. It was small ones. I don't know. Maybe they haven't got enough people
Hawaii.
streaming from those areas, and they tried to make it like, you know, let's get people.
Yeah.
You know, I thought that move may have come about because the other platforms are starting to grow in popularity, and people are going, it's too hard to get to monetization level on YouTube. So I'm just going to go all in on, say, TikTok, or all in on Twitch, or, you know, these other platforms that are available, that where it might be easier to reach that monetization level. I've been doing my channel for, I think, 3 years, and I'm only at 666. So yeah, it's a long struggle to get there. But
What's your growth been like? So you've had it for 3 years. What sort of subscriber count did you get up until arm wrestling sort of become a bit more popular?
yeah, it's been consistently like slow, but in the last 3 months, I'd say it has really started to pick up, because I'd say because the AWE stuff. So
Sure.
you know, when you get on the channel and you're doing stuff with Ryan Bowen, or you're doing stuff with some of the higher level guys in the sport, and you can put out content where you're in videos with them and that sort of thing, it does add that sort of legitimacy, or people going, oh, who is this guy? And then actually checking out your channel. So I'd say probably in the last 3 months, it's gone up 150, something like that, which is, you know, great for me.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's pathetic on the overall. Like, it's always sort of funny. Like, I'll say a video stat to Ryan and be like, oh, look at this, I got, you know, 3,000 views on this, and he's like, oh, that's cool. And then I'm looking at all his stuff, and it's, you know, 100,000 views. And it's like,
I remember when I got 1,000 views.
Yeah.
10 years ago.
Yeah, that's right. But he was the same. I mean, if you go back and look at his very early stuff on his channel, it was you know, the first 100 videos or something was skinny Ryan Bowen from tennis, you know, who was getting in. He was still doing real estate, I think, at that time, and it was, you know, his views, 6 views, 12 views, 4 views, you know, on these first 100 videos. But he stuck at it, to his credit, and then pushed, and and he's almost hit that 100,000 subscriber mark. He's like 99,000 at the moment. So
massive achievement.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Followers. Anyway, it's a lot of people.
Yeah, it is. It's massive. Yeah, absolutely.
It's 2 Adelaide Ovals fully booked out.
It is.
Yeah.
Is it 50,000 now?
50,000?
I don't know, but
Or
that's a
just
lot of
Ovals,
people.
isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
That's about the amount we had at the AWE 2
Yeah.
event.
Yeah,
50,000. So
we'll count the MMA.
right, yeah, sure. No, they were there for the arm wrestling as well, definitely. They're wearing MMA shirts to support the arm wrestling.
A lot of them did participate in the after pools. So
They did, actually.
A lot of interaction.
Yeah,
There was less people when the MMA started.
there was less. That's right. That's because we wouldn't let them in. There's only quality here, says Phil Woody. And Phil also says, Dave Chafee is some big news. Yeah, our guys here are very excited about the news of Dave Chafee. So it will be AWE 4 and not AWE 3, which will be the next event, but he will, depending on the results as to AWE 3, will depend on the opponent that Dave Chafee will be facing. So yes, we'll have to wait and see, because we've only had 2 matches announced officially so far with AWE 3, and that is Masahiro Saidu and Ryan Bowen, and also Raul Panica versus Josh Barker. So yeah, some amazing Indian pullers, and we're honored to have them as part of the AWE. And they have such a massive, they actually lead the world in terms of viewership in India for arm wrestling. By a huge margin, which is just incredible. Absolutely, yeah, for sure. Alex, when you were in India last,
which time? Which time?
Yes, but no, it is great to have these people to be able to do work with other countries and other regions, especially ones that aren't getting sort of the viewership, or the people that are, because we hear a lot about Europe, we hear a lot about America and North America and Canada, and India is not really that well
No.
followed outside of India. So this will be great for us and for them to be able to put a spotlight to the Western world and to the Eastern world, I guess, as well, to say, hey, look, these guys are legitimately amazing arm wrestlers, and to give them the opportunity and the platform to be seen by a bigger audience is, we're very happy to be able to do that. So,
Absolutely.
Is there a lot of content being produced already that's just sort of not hit the mainstream, recognizing these Indian arm wrestlers?
yeah, I mean, we're doing content every single day. It's just, yeah. Well, these guys have amazing records, and if you haven't looked, so Pro Punja League, there's another big league in India as well that have really high end sort of production values and really good highlight videos and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So they've got content with Masahir and Raul, obviously. So being able to work in that back catalog and then sort of with permission to be able to put collations of highlights together to tell a story as to who these people are, and then sort of pitting them against, well, who is Masahir Sidhu? What does he do? What technique does he have? What's his experience? Who's he gone against before? Why is he a good match for Ryan Bold? What's he going to do in the match? What's the techniques he's going to employ? So those things we need to make sure the audience understands that, so that when they go to say, well, do I want to watch this match? And if it's on pay-per-view, it's like, well, do I want to pay to see this match? You're going to have to convince me to spend money on this. Like, why am I paying to see this guy? And maybe if they've never heard of him, it's like, well, tell the story as to why this is important, why this is going to be competitive, and why I want to see it. So that's our job over the next couple of months, to make sure that people can see that and understand, I know who this guy is, I understand the story, and I'm excited about wanting to see this match.
Awesome.
That's a good opportunity to do some sort of mini doco for the previews of who we've got.
Yeah, absolutely. WWE. Yeah, it really feels like that. And I was really sort of happy with, I don't know if you saw the one I did for Mario Tembakas and Richard Bornman.
That was real high quality.
Yeah, cheers. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, that was like a 3 or 4 non-stop kind of edit-a-thon for me. It's mainly just grabbing all of the footage and then watching it through to find certain moments that it's like, that's a good line, or that is good, I can use that. And then once you've sort of collated enough information or enough scenes, and then putting them together into a story that makes sense and makes things interesting to see and to watch. So it's not just random footage or just random highlights, because you do see a lot of highlight videos and it's like, it's just their wins, and it's like, okay, that's cool. But when you can tell a story of, well, this guy and this guy, and some of those things, like maybe Mario was actually talking about somebody else, but it sounds like it's talking about Richard in that context. So I can put those 2 clips together.
Yeah, right.
So that, it's like, well, that he is saying something which, really relates to this. It's not about Richard in that moment, but I can use that and make that to tell a story. So yeah, it's those elements that sort of came together, which was why it took quite a while to do it. But if I could do it faster, it would be
you
great.
Grow 2 more arms.
Yeah, I wanted to do that for every single matchup on the card. I did do another one for Gunter's and Marcus, but it was sort of in that final week when I was able to get time to start doing those sort of edits. And I spent a long time doing Richard and Mario. I was happy with that, pushed that out. And then I started on the Gunter's and Marcus one, and then like all the athletes are having problems with their flights, and I was like, they all were messaging me, "Oh, this flight's cancelled," and Artem's stuff was like, his flights got cancelled like non-stop. So it was difficult to find time to start editing, and plus we're trying to push out all these other clips and these shorts, just push AWE 2, just get people seeing it. Where is it? How do we buy it? How do we watch it? How do we see it live? Those sorts of things were more important than creating a story that was going to take, say, 3 days to push out. So yeah, but I did put a Marcus and Gunter's one out, which I was really happy with. And it was like, no one cared, because at that point in time, the story was, will Artem make it to Australia? It was like, no one watched my video. No one even commented on it.
The Bowen curse is more popular.
Yeah, that's right.
Video at the time.
That's right. Yeah. Well, I think we beat the Bowen curse. So I think that I feel very much like sort of a bit of pride behind that, because there were so many moments where it could have just been like, nah, screw this. I've had enough. Forget it. And I was like, I'm not quitting on this. Like that, Adam, as you saw, Adam had 18 flights where it was supposed to be 3.
18 flights.
But they kept rescheduling it and then canceling it, rescheduling it, canceling it.
Was this all in the same night, like
This
sequential,
is
or
it
like
was supposed
over?
to, it's supposed to take him 2.5 days to get here.
Yep.
And it took 5 days because and he kept getting stuck in different cities and different locations. And then, you know, he's messaging saying they've booked me for a flight at 7 p.m. It's 6 a.m. Right. So he's got to be somewhere for 12 hours, San Francisco or something like that. And then he would wait until it was like near 7, and then they would cancel that flight.
How much time did he spend on the ground in Adelaide before he flew off?
He did get enough time, I would say. Like he flew in and got here the day before the event, and it was probably fairly late. It was probably like 10 p.m., something like that. So his match wasn't till about 7 p.m. the next night, or 6 or something. I can't remember what it was, but it was at least say 20 hours between him landing and having the match. So there was a full night and most of the day, and then his match was in the very late afternoon and early evening. And then he went back the next morning. So yeah, he was supposed to be on the 6 a.m. flight, and guess what happened with that one? Got cancelled. Yeah. And of course, I was asleep at that point because I was still awake till 4:30 a.m. You know, I'd packed up all the tables and everything at the Adelaide Oval, and I was still there. I remember Dave and I took a photo or did a video or something. It was 3 a.m. when we packed up all the tables and everything, and I put them all in the car. And then I had to drive home, and then it was like I got home and I still had to do stuff because Adam wanted me to check him into his flight. And I was like, he said, can't you just do it on the phone? And I'm like, I can't do it on the phone. There's literally like 18 flights and 7 of them say to check in. Like, I don't know which one it is. I've got everything written down at home, and I'll be able to do it then. But anyway, so I got home, did that, and I was awake till maybe 5:15. And then I went to sleep until 7 a.m.
And a long, nutritious sleep.
And 7 a.m. I woke up to all these messages, you know, saying, "Oh, the flight's been cancelled." And it wasn't just his flight; it was the guys from Sydney and others. And somebody said, "Wake up, sleepyhead," and I was like, "Sleepyhead." I said, "I've slept for an hour in like 3 days." So yeah, but anyway, it worked out and it was fine. Yeah, but that's the bonkers. Like, I feel like it tried its best, but I was like, I'm not letting you win.
Defeated it.
Yeah, I'm not letting you win. I'm gonna get, and I said, if this doesn't work, I'll get a helicopter or something, and I'll talk to the army or something. I'll get you shipped here, like in a crate. Yeah, I'll drive there myself and get you back. It was just, I was not gonna let that win. So yeah, but we've got one of the other newer members of the arm wrestling club, and that's Kyle Davison, and he says it's massive news for the AWE, and it is indeed, Kyle. And we didn't see you at training tonight. You must have been working, but great to see you in the club when you are here, and you're doing very well. Actually, Kyle was there on Tuesday night with us at
yes. Okay.
You know who he is now. You're looking like you did know who it was the whole time until you just revealed that you didn't know.
I was looking at the profile picture. I was trying to make out who it was. There was something there. Then
that photo looks nothing like you, Kyle.
That's the guy that was destroyed.
It does. Yeah, it does.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Hit you 50 times.
Yeah. Well, that's the one that the video and the girl in the background is going, oh, yeah. Can't believe it. So yes, but Phil Woody says It Jake 3 days to get us into the UK this time last year. Yeah, it is a long way. We are literally on the other side of the world. So even if it goes right, it does take a long time. I flew to Canada years ago, and it was still like everything went right for me. I still had a 24-hour layover in Japan for some reason, but
awesome.
Yeah. But it was like Adelaide, Sydney, Tokyo, and then Tokyo, Vancouver. So yeah, it's still a long way when everything goes right.
Isn't that going back? If you're going from Sydney into Tokyo.
Sydney, yeah, it was like, I don't know why they did it that way, but now I think they do a Sydney to LA thing, but it's like 14 hours or something. It's just insane.
Right. It's a long flight.
Yeah, I think that one is the longest commercial flight in the world.
I did that a couple of years ago.
Oh,
that flight, exactly. Ooh. 14 hours.
Yeah,
you gotta be prepared for it.
Were you able to sleep?
No, I don't really sleep well on flights. I need like a comfy laying down position, not with like headrests. And
you didn't get that on this flight? That's insane.
No. So the flight The flight went up, and then everyone got up, and they were fighting over this one row that was completely empty. And I managed to get there first, and I managed to secure somewhat of a sleeping position. Wasn't good enough to get like a deep sleep, but it was the best I could get, and I beat a couple of people to it, so I was quite proud.
That would make you sleep well.
Yeah, it was not bad. It was not bad.
That's great. And what were you flying over there for?
It was just a family holiday. We spent some time in LA, all our time in California. Started in San Francisco for a week, and then we drove all the way down the coast to LA. Went to an NBA game. Went to Malibu, all that sort of stuff. Santa Monica Pier. Amazing.
Skid Row.
Yeah, that's it. Exactly.
First stop.
So, it's just unbelievable. It's weird. It's like you see it all in pictures and in videos, and you can't believe it's actually real. It actually really exists, and things are going on there every day. Like,
and the landscapes as well. They're just so much more
awesome.
It's like a painted picture.
Awesome,
especially to
seeing squirrels.
Little old Adelaide. It's great seeing all these snowy mountain, snowy caps mountains.
Get to see Hollywood.
I did. I got to see. I went to the observatory. The observatory. We go up. Weird side note though, Grand Theft Auto 5. All the places in Grand Theft Auto 5 that I went to actually in America were like the exact same, like detail for detail, the exact same.
You wouldn't need GPS on your phone.
No, like Santa
just
Monica.
a pink glowing.
Seriously, like Santa Monica Pier, like detail for detail was the same in the game, like the door and the steps. And I'm in the game, and I'm like, I've sat on those steps. Awesome place. I wish I could go back there again.
How about the Gentleman's Club? Was it the same?
I only got a handful of visits there. So.
Fantastic. Dragster, the Canberra Dragster, he says, crazy how much work is involved in the flights, organizing matches, advertising, etc. There is a lot of work to be done. Absolutely. If you want to run and be a world-class organization, as AWE is striving to be, then yes, there is a lot of work, but it is great to have Ryan Bowen and Dave Stockbridge also sharing very similar skill sets. We all seem to have the ability to do each other's job in a way, which is fantastic. And then bringing our own certain backgrounds or specialties into the mix definitely allows us to sort of help each other in areas where maybe, this is an area that Dave might have contacts in or an ability to do something that neither of us do. And then say Ryan can do this, or I'm got the foresight for that, or, those things. So those three elements help us to really share the workload and then work together. So, and it's been great. It's always been fun. At no point has it ever felt like this is work or this is difficult or I don't want to do this. Everything is, even if it's difficult, like with dealing with Artem stuff and all the rest of it, was like, it's a challenge, but it didn't feel at any point like, oh, screw this. It's like, okay, that's the issue. I just got to figure it out. And it's like, okay, well, let's get it happening. And there was never any like frustration. It was just like, okay, well, I'm not quitting here. Obviously, we're just going to get him here, and this is what we got to do. Okay, well, you flight, you're in, I don't know, San Francisco, and you're at a desk and there's a 7-hour line up to get the information. Well, let's try to get on the online stuff. Anyway, but we got him here. So it worked out. Yes. And Kyle Davison says, better looking in person, I think, is what you mean, Matt. Yeah, absolutely. I think you can get a better photo for your post picture there.
Yeah, I don't know about the bird's eye.
Bird's eye view.
He might be trying to go for like a Stanley Kubrick kind of thing or Alfred Hitchcock kind of cover.
But, black and white.
Yeah, absolutely. Kyle is also a filmmaker, and he's done some incredible work. I met him when I was acting in a film, which is almost finished. We've got one scene to go. Horror movie.
You were the
movie. I like
you're quite a barbaric man in this one, aren't you?
I am. Yes, very nasty in this movie.
Me.
Yeah, for sure. But I think we've done everything, and then there's one scene that there's got to get rescheduled, and we will. Yeah, exactly. We'll get it out. But Kyle did the sound on that movie. So
when will it be available for viewing?
When we finish filming it.
And where will it be?
That generally makes sense.
I'm not sure. Those elements I haven't been party to. So yeah, I've just been the guy that's like, what do I do? Okay, you want me to grab a plastic bag and strangle that person to death? Okay.
I can do that. No
problem. All right, let's do it.
Wait, this is for the camera?
Yeah, I was just you want we're filming this. Okay. That's right. So Phil Goody says that there's now a new direct flight from Sydney to London. It's 22 hours. That is ridiculous. I don't think he's going to spend 22 hours on a plane.
I'd honestly prefer that
Would you?
than layovers. Getting off, waiting for a plane for another 3-4 hours.
Once you're in the routine of like sleep,
yeah,
you don't want to be jumping in and out of that.
I've slept. I've done the flight to LA as well. 14 hours, and on the way back, I slept for 10 of those.
I mean, if you can sleep on a
So,
plane, sure. What if you can't though?
Yeah.
That's a weird flex, but I'll take it.
Would you sleep for 22 hours?
No, I've got some movie viewing to do.
You sleep in the chair, like just
Yeah.
sitting upright, like
Yeah.
Do you put a mask on it?
One of those pillows, those neck pillows.
Yeah.
that you get in
I
there.
cannot ever fall asleep in those. It
Yeah,
just
yeah.
feels so
Yeah.
unnatural
Yeah.
and not possible.
Yeah, it just must have been all the traveling caught up with me by the end of the trip.
Mm.
I just passed out.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've spent a lot of time abroad.
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 Abroad. Wow. Well,
It sounds like I was in university. Would you like to study abroad? Maybe
Maybe
do a semester in London.
Go to the Bahamas often.
Exactly.
Getting back to the airport and going to your gate and it being obviously an Australian flight back, hearing someone speaking in an Australian accent again after spending so much time away, I don't know. I just found it very comforting.
Yeah.
Comforting.
Yeah. I
Yes.
don't know. I guess the American accent started to stress me out after.
Oh, wow.
It was
Yeah.
cool. It was cool hearing it for the first
Mm.
few days.
I-
I'm like,
I do. I
"Miss
can.
home."
I can relate to that. Yeah, I lived in Canada for 6 months, and every now and then I'd have to ring. I think it was something with my phone, and I had to ring like through a payphone, do an international call, which was like 300 numbers
Oh,
to
great.
get through to an Australian thing, and it was like the whole prompts all the way through in American. Insert this and do that, and press the 46-digit number, and then it would go through, and it would change to a lady's voice, and it was Australian like recording, and it was like, I was like, welcome to Telstra. And I'm like, yes, yeah, therapeutic. Yes, your account is overdue. And, ruined it
And the
all.
stress is back up.
Yes, it. And Danky's arm wrestling, Darren Broad, the Tyrannosaurus. He says, "Tell Brandon he's looking sexy."
Oh, thank you.
Well, there you go.
Sure.
One of my biggest fans. I taught him everything he knows about arm wrestling.
That's right. And yes, you would be nowhere, Taryn, without Brandon's advice. So
And memes.
those are the memes. And Dragster, the Canberra Dragster, says, "Is there a double bicep pose in your film, Matt?"
Tell us.
That there is not. No. It's not supposed to be me. It is me in the movie, but I'm playing a character. The character is not Hollywood Matt
You
Connolly.
said you
so
strangle someone with a bag,
I
right?
did do
Do
that.
you really flex?
Well, she actually tapped out. the actress.
Do you actually really like flex?
I feel bad actually. Yeah, no. Yeah, I did say like if it gets crazy, then tap, and she did.
Okay.
So
There you go, method acting.
yeah, well, it's hard to pretend to strangle somebody with a plastic bag.
Yeah.
Not really a difference between pretending and really doing it.
No.
So you can't. Yeah, anyway, they were right on her face and they wanted it real tight, and that's what it was.
Okay, I can do that.
Because you can tell as the viewer, you can tell when there's
Yeah,
not a
it's
lot
like,
of pressure being
she can
applied.
easily breathe
Like
through
the
that.
bag's still loose around her
Yeah,
neck,
yeah,
and
yeah.
she's breathing
Yeah.
just fine.
Yeah, she's fine. No, she wasn't fine.
So it really sells.
She was tapping out. She was scared.
It's filmed in the Can't Get Kitchen too.
Just before.
That's right. Well, Danky says that Brandon is my hero. There you go. Your biggest fan. Danky is arm wrestling.
He's all of our heroes.
Tyrannosaurus Broad. And yes, well,
Finally got a fan.
you've got a fan. You've only been here one time. You've got more fans than I have.
665 more.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly right. Yeah, for sure. I do like telling Dave Stockbridge that you are his biggest fan. And he says that he's your biggest fan as well. So there you go.
I've got two.
Yeah, that's it. Yes, thank you, arm wrestling, and Dave. I would have said they'll have to arm wrestle to see who's the bigger fan, but I think that it's quite clear that Dave would be the winner. So
I found out the hard way.
yeah, that's right.
Oh, yeah, you did, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
did.
that was for the leadership position and the red shirt.
So
honor.
And the belt.
you've just moved your way into the club and then gone, yeah, who's at the top?
Yep. That's it.
Gone straight for it. Cut everyone else in the queue.
Just go
Straight for gold.
Yeah. Well, you've got to have. You said you were going to have another match with Neo or something.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we sort of on the after pools from AWE2, we jumped on the table. We sort of had a super match there.
Oh,
Someone was saying ready go, but
Somebody.
no, we need to get one. We need to do the third one. I don't think it was you.
no, it wasn't.
No.
I was saying ready go like from across the room. I was just yelling it randomly.
Yeah, that's right. That's what we were listening out for.
For any of the matches,
That's right.
in case they want a random ready go.
We got rid of the ready in AWE. We
Oh,
just
really?
say go. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense
Really?
really. Ready go. Ready go.
Because people go when you say ready.
Yeah,
Anyway.
that's right.
that's
They're
right.
waiting for that, and they've gone.
My
Yeah.
personal opinion is that the ready is like your cue to not go.
It should
Because
be.
the
it
hands
should be,
close,
yeah.
like tonight, the hands close and I'm starting to like go. Whereas, because you don't know when the go is going to happen, but when you hear the ready, you're like, okay, I don't go yet because it's the ready, and you know it's going to be like ready go. You're like, relax, pull.
You know the guy is going to follow the ready.
Yeah, you know, like the
Yeah, but
rhythm.
people go on
That's
ready
what-
though.
Yeah, yeah.
Those,
Yeah,
those
that's
people
what it
just need
should
to.
be. That's what
Those
it should
people
be
just
at.
need to chill out.
They do go on
Relax
ready.
on the
They're
ready.
told that they're allowed to go on ready.
Okay.
The idea behind that, it
That
should be that you get position, everything's ready, and you say, ready, go. And then you go and go. But people don't do that. They go, ready, go.
Mm.
And it's like they
Yep.
you know,
Okay.
so yeah, it should have a clearly defined ready and then a pause and then a go.
Yeah.
You wait until they go.
Sometimes if you study the referee, you know exactly when they're going to say go, so you
Mm.
go before they say
Mm.
go.
Yeah, false
That gives you
starting
the
is
advantage.
massively advantageous. So, yes, and Canberra Dragsters is go is way better than ready go. I agree, and that's why we put that in the AWE. It's just very simple. Close your thumbs, close your hands, go.
Mm.
Yeah, but Alex, you were starting early.
How do you? It is how it is.
Yeah.
How do you think technology is going to play into sport, and particularly arm wrestling, if there's a role for it to play in managing those sort of human error
Mm.
moments and reaction times? And, and things like
No
that?
referee has ever been wrong ever.
True. I remember that.
No referee.
Someone somewhere
I'm
said
not
that
joking.
one time.
No, there is. I think the evolution of the sport will change drastically, and I think arm wrestling will look a lot different in the next 10 years to the way it does right now. I've seen people throwing out ideas of like, pressure point stuff like on the pads, like that you've got to keep pressure, and if you release that pressure,
there's a signal.
Indicate on light or something like that. I don't know how accurate that would be. Say what if you're laying back with your tricep on there? Is it going to affect maybe your elbow's actually off the back of the pad? And it's just, there's lots of different things that I don't think it's found the way that it is ideal yet. I think the ability and the amount of fouls and people complaining about elbows and everything is just, it shows to me that it's not in the right spot yet. Yeah, ideally, if there was some sort of device, you both put your hands in there and it forces your hand.
I was thinking that like some thing that comes down from like the
cone of
ceiling
silence
and it
that
holds both the
slowly
hands
wobbles its way down.
and then super speed just goes.
Yes.
And it's like once that thing's open, you can go. But until then, it's going to hold you straight. There's going to be no carving. It's going to sort everything out.
Or we can just put like electric pulses through the.
Oh yeah.
So you can't actually move if the electricity's surging through your arms.
Okay.
Don't worry about the damage it could do to your heart.
No,
Just,
yeah.
Someone
it's
just
No one will get
nervous,
sued.
sitting there.
No, if they sign the waiver,
No one with a pacemaker would ever do arm wrestling.
it'll be interesting to see how it changes. In like
It
a
will
decade
be.
from now, how
Absolutely.
technology, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Very
thank you,
interesting.
Arm Wrestling says that it should be a 3-2-1 on your marks, get set, ready, go.
I agree.
On your marks, get set.
100%.
No. And as soon as you start saying three, people start.
Yeah, they get out of position.
Yeah, it's incredible the amount of manipulation that goes on in the arm wrestling setup. It's astounding, really. I mean, ideally, it would just be okay. Listen to my instructions. Be a mannequin. I'm going to put your body in the right position. Don't fight me. No resistance. Okay, thumbs, hands, go. No one does that at all. Everyone's like fighting and they're
Fantasy
sliding and they're
world.
this and they're trying to get a cup and a
Cover,
carve and this
shoulders,
and that.
shoulders.
And the strap and they're moving it and it's like, yeah, the shoulders leaning back and in and so yeah, it's not in the place it needs to be right
There's always
now.
that one guy that's like, just say go, man.
Yeah.
Just say go.
Yeah, well, that's why we have that in the AW as well with that first 20 seconds. You guys are happy with that.
Yeah.
If you're both happy with it, whatever the grip is, I don't care what it is. You could be this close to the pad. If you both say, yeah, we'll just say go. Like, I would just say go. You know?
Really?
Yeah. Doesn't matter. You can be on like 1 foot and like, be this
Doing a
about.
handstand.
If they both say, I'm happy to start like this, start like that. No problem. Doesn't matter.
That opens up the pool for all sorts of super matches. Like I could go against, someone, 10 times as heavy as me and say, yeah, but I'll start like fully pronated about 1 inch from the pad.
Yeah.
And we're fine then. We'll just say ready to go. That's like how we fix this.
We wouldn't say
obvious-
ready to go. We just say go.
Right. We say 3, 2, 1 on your marks,
That's
and
it.
fire the gun.
Yeah. Yeah, but that is because you do see that well, people do agree to start in hook starts and all sorts of things, and I always think it should be up to the competitors at that point. Like if you're both happy with the grip, what's the problem? Like if you both said no, like just start us. Like we don't need you to do anything at this point. Like we both want to start like this.
Yeah.
Just start. Even if it's not a fair start, but they're happy with it.
It's the spectators, the people watching. They're like, no, he doesn't know what he wants. He needs to
know.
rise more. He
I
needs
know what he wants.
to
He
supinate
doesn't
more.
know.
He's not happy with the grip. He doesn't know what
he's
he's
not happy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I know what he wants, not him.
Well, that's why we've made it very clear to anybody who's refereeing that if they're in that 20-second grip and it's like they both sort of settle, and then the referee will say, "Are you happy with the grip? Yes. Are you happy with the grip? Yes. Okay. Well, I'm just going to start you." Because once you've said yes, it's like you can't then go, oh, but he was, it's like you said you were happy.
Yeah.
You've got no recourse here whatsoever. You can't then go, oh, but he was carved, he was this. It was like you said you were happy with it. It's on you now.
Yeah.
But I love that fact that we do have that ability. And that is the first thing that happens is like if you guys can find a grip, we'll start you. If you can't, then we'll set you up and get you fair and away you go. And then even if it slips, off of your negotiated grip, if you both negotiated grip and you were happy with it and you end up slipping, you still can negotiate your grip in strap. So it's not like an automatic ref's grip in strap. You still get the opportunity to find your grip. Yeah, absolutely. It's only if you go over that 20 seconds and the referee says, okay, we're going to set you up here, that you actually have to follow the referee's instructions at that point.
But it just gets you straight into it if both of you are happy.
That's right.
You both want your grip. You're both happy to start that way. Just gets you straight into the action.
Exactly. That's right. And for the audience as well, for the viewers, it's like you don't want to see 5-10 minutes of messing around and no
40-minute super match and only 2 pulls.
Yeah. I remember that probably the worst example of this is a match between Travis Bajan and Devin Larratt. And I think it goes for 27 minutes.
Do you know which event it was?
It was they were on a stage, and I don't think there was a big audience. It was from quite a while ago, and
it's not the Arm Wars one, was it?
No.
WAL, is it?
No, I don't think so. I don't remember, but it's on YouTube. But I remember watching because I was like, oh, Travis Bajan versus Devin, awesome. I think literally 18 minutes before they even said go. And I'm not exaggerating.
And so at the start of the 18 minutes, they're at the table, hands up.
They kept messing around, and then Devin would walk off and then come back, and then Travis would walk off and come back, and they'd mess around, and then Travis would walk off again. And it was like, what the hell is this? This is insane.
I hear that's great for growing the sport.
Yeah.
It's huge for viewership.
Yeah. And then when they said go, they slipped.
It's another 18 minutes setting up the start.
Yeah. It's outrageous. Like it's it's funny to watch it, to go, this is just insanely stupid. But if you're trying to have an actual arm wrestler, that's just embarrassingly bad. Like you can't get that and have that say, oh, this is an example of our sport, and go, yeah, okay, oh, I want to see more of that. It's insane.
No.
Phil Woody says, got the boys arriving now for practice. Listening in the background, gents. Feel free to randomly shout elbow foul on Sumo Daz. Freak him out. All right. Elbow foul. He must elbow foul a lot. In practice, even.
What about goes? We just shout out goes.
Just
randomly.
go.
They have to set up and just wait for our go.
I don't know. But Phil, obviously, you're still hearing what we're saying here. Do you guys do ready go? Do you just do go? Do you say Bonanza. What happened with it over in the UK?
1, 2, 3, 4.
There is a really only go and ready go that I've seen.
Yeah.
I haven't really seen anything else. Start. Commence.
Oh, you may begin your exam.
Pencils down.
Pencils down. Pencils up.
Initiate.
Initiate.
You can have
Oh,
fun with
that'd be amazing. Fire up. I don't know. But ignition. That'd be awesome. We could do ignition.
Engines ready.
Right. Yeah, take off.
Start.
Start's good.
Start.
Yeah. Proceed.
Oh,
Terrence,
the
proceed.
fitness Grand Pacer test is a multi-stage
At the beeps. The
the
multiple-
beep test.
the multi-stage fitness test will
We
start.
can just do that. Just do a beep.
Right. Yeah. Who's going to press the beep?
Someone in an
Dave will press
undisclosed location out in the desert in a
Just randomly
in a
pressing,
bunker.
pressing
Just-
buttons.
gets paid so much money each year to just press this button at the most random, inconspicuous times.
Ready bang, even. Yeah, that's quite good.
Yep.
Ready bang.
bang,
These two
you
gunslingers
dead
are
set
throwing
legends.
hand grenades at each other. Just let them go. Yeah. Of course, obviously arm wrestler Jake Ward, one of the amazing arm wrestling commentators and content creators. He has a fantastic show and YouTube. He's going live all the time, and I think every arm wrestling promotion around the world has had Jake involved at some level. So, ready, steady, cook, says Kyle. That's not bad.
That
Yeah,
was a good show.
Cook?
That was a good
Yeah.
cooking show.
I did like when was it Cole from Lano and Woodley was on there for a while. Lano and Woodley, the comedian duo, and then Colin. If you want to call him his real name, Colin. He was the host of that show for a while, but yeah, it was annoying for me in one way. It was great because I really like him and I like his humor, but it was annoying because he wasn't trying to be funny at that point. He was talking about cooking, and I was like, this isn't as good.
That's what I remember.
This isn't what I signed up for.
Yes, and it was on like every day. It was like, oh, there's Colin. He's talking about cooking again. Damn
It's
it.
too serious.
Do your routine, Colin.
Meant to be fun.
Mix it in somehow.
This is before his routine. Before he started his routine.
No, this is after.
After?
Yeah, him and Frank Woodley obviously toured
yeah.
for years, like 30 years or something as comedian pair, and then they split up and went their separate ways, and now he went to Ready Steady Cook.
Ready, steady, cook.
Yeah.
A career path for a comedian. to go.
He is. He must have been paid a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah, just go is what Phil Woody says from the UK there. It's just go. Is
Just
it just
go.
go or
Just
is it go?
Ready? Just go.
Just go.
Just
Don't move. Just go.
Elbow foul.
Elbow foul.
What do
Yeah,
you mean?
that's great.
Just go, meaning don't do anything else except go.
Just
go.
Just go.
So no kicking under the
No,
table.
no breathing.
No poking
looking.
eyes out. Just arm
No
wrestle.
tickling.
Just go.
Just go.
Just go.
It's
Just
Kellogg's. Just go. Yes. Well. Here we go. Phil Woody says. But as it's England, we tend to say go, please.
Please.
Yes. Very good. Absolutely.
That'd be what they say in Canada as well.
Yeah. No, let's say sorry.
Let's say sorry.
Please.
Let's
Oh,
say
sorry.
go.
Go. Sorry.
Sorry.
Anything else is abuse after that.
That's right. That's right. What do you guys think about the Ryan Espy, Devin Larratt thing?
Oh wow, yeah. What a thing that's blown up to be.
Mm.
Yeah, I've been watching videos just of people's opinions on it.
What's your opinion on it?
Once the Michael Todd released a video on that,
Mm.
and I don't know, his opinion seemed to be that it's just blown out of something that it should
Out of
be.
proportion.
I don't think he really took one side.
Yep.
I'm sort of in the same boat.
Okay.
I think that yeah, it's something that it's never really been this much of a problem before with organizations. It's just being a thing now, and yeah, I don't think
Arm wrestling's always been a very emotional sport.
Yeah.
When you're at the table with someone, it's you and them. It's like a war taking place, and that sort of fired up attitude isn't something new by any stretch of the imagination. So to suddenly point it out as being a breach of the rules is somewhat unjustified in some ways.
I feel like
ridiculous.
feel like maybe they should have called each other and had a conversation about that. Because obviously, if you've got Devon competing, you know what he's like. You know the mind games he likes to play. I think maybe if they called each other afterwards and been like, and Ryan would have been like, "Hey, Devon, didn't really appreciate that. Can you not do that next time?" Or yeah, because once you bring the fans involved, it starts to get hostile. It starts to get worse because everything online seems to blow out of proportion.
Yeah,
so.
it does indeed. Yeah. Well, yeah, it's an interesting topic, and I think the fact that you said it hasn't really happened before, we haven't seen that happen before. Obviously, the Canadian Nationals have their structure, and they have an ethics group, and they have other elements at play, and they were able to bring that before the ethics committee and to even discuss it, which I think actually. He's the sitting chairman of that committee. Yeah, that's right. Which is a little bit of a conflict of interest, really. You would think that if somebody's competing, that they can't hold that position at the same time. But yeah, interesting to see that. Okay, well, hey, we're going to look into this and even actually follow it up. It's sort of like, well, you do know that this is his behavior. This is what happens. This is what Devon does. This is the mind games. Did he actually? Well, I guess that's what they're debating. Did he cross the line in terms of, a personal attack or whatever? But it is quite interesting to see that, this has even become a thing. I don't think it'll go anywhere whatsoever.
And I don't know why would you want to do that to Devon as well? Like Devon brings the viewers to whatever organization he goes to. And to try and get him banned from your organizations, it's going to hurt you more than prove anything.
Yeah, I don't think it was a good move. I think, like you said, I mean, if you spoke about it afterwards, and it's like, okay, rather than going through a public display of this, it's like, even if you can't get in contact with him or, whatever, it's like, all right, well, at some point I'll be able to express my feelings, and maybe the next day, 2 days later, you would have felt differently. But whatever, it is what it is. I don't think it'll go anywhere. I don't think Devon cares at all about competing in that organization at any level. He said 23 years was the last time that he actually went and competed in it.
It's a good thing to experience now, though, because obviously arm wrestling's been a smaller niche sport for a long period of time, and to have checks and balances and ethics committees and all the sort of formal standards that, say, mainstream sports are held to those sort of standards, it's a good experience to go through early on as the sport grows and as things get more formal and more stakeholders are at play. So it's definitely something to learn from.
Charlie Barnes says that the next super match should be between the Beast and the Eastern Beast. So the Eastern Beast obviously being Corey, and the Beast are sitting right here. Well, I think you'd have quite a significant advantage over Corey.
Significant weight advantage. I think he's got a wrist injury too.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe not right now.
Not yet. Not
So
until you
what
get on
are
the
you
table
the
with
beast
him.
of?
Yeah.
What are you if he's the Eastern Beast? What is your
The rest of everything
rest,
else. Yeah. The west, the north, the south.
Oh, wow. So if the Eastern Beast wins, he just becomes Beast, right?
Yeah.
And you become
Eastern Beast.
I become
Not the Beast.
I've just become unknown.
The Beasted.
the Beast.
Bested.
Bested.
Disappear from existence.
Oh, goodness me.
Yeah, that's right. Have you guys, I mean, when you first started, it would have been after Corey. So Corey would have had a few years on you in terms of experience.
Yeah,
Was he, did he feel dominant to you for quite a while?
Yeah, he did. I think he was maybe the third person I pulled, if I recall.
Okay.
Yeah, I struggled with everyone when I started, actually. I think Colin was first. Yeah, he just held me, and I tried my best. I couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
And he pressed me. I'm like, oh, wow, what's this?
Yeah.
I think second might have been Connor. He destroyed me too. But he taught me a lot as well.
Oh, yeah.
I think Corey was the third. He just held me in center and stonewalled me. So,
Oh, did he?
yeah. That was my experience of starting arm wrestling, is being destroyed by everybody.
I think that's everybody's experience. Yeah. Well, it's a lot of fun though. Like obviously you enjoyed yourself enough to come back. Well, how did you get in, know about the climb or come along to the comps the first time?
Oh, YouTube, I'd say.
Okay.
I found a video of you guys on YouTube. I think the first video I watched was the Ryan Bold versus the whole SA club.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I think that was when I first found out that there was a club in South Australia.
Mm.
And then I joined that Armbets app.
Oh yeah.
And then Taron on there actually messaged me and he asked me to come down, and that's how I got in contact with all you
That
guys.
is a way more exciting way to get into the club.
I think he did the same with Dave as well, Dave Stockbridge.
Yeah. I think it was Armbets as well.
It was, yeah.
How does that app work? What do you actually
it's
do?
fantastic, actually. But I think it's probably not at the level now that it could have got to. It took off really quite well. So Devin Larratt is pushed it, and essentially it allows arm wrestlers in different areas to, you create a profile and you say, this is where I am, not your exact location, but in this area. I live here. This is my stats. This is where I train. You can write a little bio, and it's GPS sort of based. So if I went to Melbourne, for example, and I didn't know that there was a club there or didn't know anybody there, I could load up Armbets and see, oh well, there's 4 people that do it like near where I'm staying, and I can message them and say, hey, I'm from Adelaide, I'm here in town, do you guys do training or whatever? And then
awesome.
So it's like Tinder, really cool. But for arm wrestlers.
Well, you swipe on them like, who do you want a super match with? It looks too big. No chance.
Yeah, that's right. But I've had a couple of people that have come along that came over from New Zealand or from interstate, and they just messaged and said, hey, I'm coming in from wherever, and
Awesome.
where do you guys train, what night? And so I'm here.
No,
I think I picked one of the guys up and drove him there, and unfortunately,
really, what, met him for the first time, picked him up, and just
it's kind of funny actually, because I think we how we'll go out after, so we went to training, and then which was like 3 hours, and then we went for food, and then we went for ice cream. We didn't get back till like midnight. And he told his girlfriend that he was going out for like an hour. Like 7 hours.
They've since broken up.
He's been in the doghouse ever since.
That's it.
Where were you?
He's fed 2 times a day.
That's it. Carl Davison has doubled down for the promo materials. That's right, absolutely. And now he's just kidding. Well, you can't be kidding about things. We've already read it and taken it seriously.
Yep.
Too late, Kyle.
No chance.
Change your profile photo. Taryn Broad says 3, 2, 1, begin to proceed in 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1, continue, getting ready to start. Now commence the starting of the ready go.
Commence the starting of the ready go. I'll start rising with just one finger by that point.
Warm liquid goo phase. The O-Beast. Oh, okay. If you win the title, you are the
over the top.
Over the post beast. Yeah. Overpowered.
Yeah, exactly.
Canberra Dragster. Armbet pretty much is the reason the Canberra Club exists. It's good for beginners to get started. Absolutely. Yeah, it's very handy. So I think it's a free app. You just download it and set up your little profile. And the good thing is, like as I said, it won't tell you where you are exactly on the map, but you could say, I'm in this region. And you can see other people in that area, and then you can message and harass them. Like,
can you see the whole? Can you see the whole map?
I think you can keep zooming out.
Like just one person in Hawaii.
There might be.
And you just reach out to this.
Yeah, well, that's how we found Dave.
I think
in Hawaii.
No, in here.
Oh.
He hasn't been to Hawaii yet.
I think it only goes up to like 60 kilometers or something.
60 kilometers.
Does it? Oh, okay. Yeah. But it's cool though, like because everyone obviously had downloaded it from the club, and then everyone's looking at it and going, "Oh yeah, cool." And then it was like this name has popped up, Dave Stockbridge, and it's like, who's this guy?
Fake profile Stockbridge. Who's got that last name?
That's right. And he had his own table, which was like, the pads were directly opposite each other.
That's the arm break table.
Yeah, pretty much. And he'd said, I weigh this much, and I don't know, been lifting weights for a long time and all this stuff. And it was like, who is this guy? Does anyone know who this is? It's like, nah. And then it's like, message him. We should message him. And then Taryn did. And he came along. I think he trained with Taryn and Leon and Connor, I think. And then did a couple of sessions with them before he came on to the club. And
that's when you found out it was just a fake profile masking Kratos from the game series God of War.
That's right. It was him.
You happen to be in Australia.
That's right. You're pretending to be an arm wrestler.
Dave Stockbridge.
The delay is insane at the moment. Yeah, well, we're working our way through the comments when we feel it's appropriate. When we have good conversation going, we'll get with that, and then we'll get the comments every now and then. And sometimes they're like 5 minutes behind, and it was a conversation we'd finished ages ago.
True, yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a club in every state?
Uh,
Like Perth? Is there one in Perth?
yeah.
Perth club.
Yeah.
But there's not one in Northern Territory, I don't think.
Darwin? No
don't-
Darwin club?
I don't think so.
Well,
There might be. I haven't heard of one.
Mm.
Yeah, I think Queensland actually has like 7 clubs. There's so many there. Yeah,
a lot of members per club, or like two
no,
members
there's
per club?
like a lot. Yeah, there's
Wow.
like the northeastern Queensland one. There's the Gympie Grippers. There's
Oh.
the Kingpins.
Townsville.
Yeah.
Do they have their own like
Brisbane
events where there's like, like
interclub things?
infighting between each other?
Powerhouse Club as well. I think they do every now and then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you train with those guys up the road? Nah.
I think they're all quite friendly with each other,
Okay.
and yeah, but Queensland is incredibly strong. They have so many good pullers.
I reckon it's the sunshine.
It could be that, yeah,
vitamin
maybe
D
there's
down
like
there.
we want to get out and do stuff,
Yeah,
that feeling.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, they've got and I think Ryan, the club that he's training at, the Kingpins, their goal is to have all of the top 10 spots in Australia coming from that club. So they've got quite a few of them already. There's Lachlan, there's Ryan, there's Marcus Atirai, there's a whole bunch of guys. Rickard, yeah. So and they're competing against the guys. So the other really, I mean, there's a lot of strong clubs out there. Melbourne has the House of Pain Club, and then you've got the Sydney Spartans and the Powerhouse Club, and it's even Ryan Scott and Kyle Howarth over in Perth, and so there's a lot of very strong names around the place. Yeah, and Canberra Dragster says that is there a Tasmanian club? I'm not sure if there is. If there is, and anybody who is from Tasmania or anyone who is watching, let us know. But I'm not sure. Maybe that's where the ArmBets app really comes in handy. If you did go over to Tasmania and you just see, is there anybody here that maybe there's not a club, but maybe there's a couple of people that do arm wrestling, and you could, if you're on a holiday there or something, and it's like,
train.
Yeah, if you're training, and this person's got a profile. Hey, I'm over from Adelaide. I've got Wednesday night free if you're keen to train or whatever. Yeah. So yeah, that we did that actually. There was a guy, I don't know if you came along for that one. A guy came over from New Zealand. It wasn't through ArmBets, but he messaged me and just said, I'm not here for the Sunday night, but I'm here from Monday to Thursday.
Oh yeah, I saw that in the chat.
Yeah, that was Anton.
Yeah, that's right.
Or something.
Yeah, and so we set up a night, and I think it was like Monday night or something like that, just at Steve's place, and there was a bunch of us that came along just to give him the opportunity to arm wrestle with us. But yeah, so those sorts of things. And Terrence's ArmBet servers are cancelled now. I tried using it a couple of months ago. I haven't used it for quite a while, but not sure if they're going to relaunch it or something. It is a very handy app, and I mean, I haven't looked. It might not be working at the moment, or it might be working. I haven't looked for quite a while.
You know what that means? AWE up. Get it going.
Yeah, that's it. We'll wait and see what happens. Working on all these other things at the moment. Add in that as well. But it's definitely. Oh, what about yourself, Alex? How did you find out about arm wrestling?
So yeah, like I was saying, a lot more boring than your story. I just I'd been interested in arm wrestling for a couple of years, and then I Googled arm wrestling Adelaide, and boom, SA Titans Facebook page. See all these mean big forearm dudes on the on the picture, and I'm like,
that's the wrong page. Actually, let me load the other one.
Yeah, that's right. So I just
you went to Queensland.
That's exactly. So I just saw you train on Sundays, and I thought I'm just going to show up to one of them. Cold turkey. Just showed up, and it's been awesome ever since. Been going for a year now. Yeah, fit in with the group. Everyone's really nice, so it's just like a new little family.
What about your first experience, like when you first walked in?
Oh yeah, I was really nervous going in there. I just trying any new sport and something you've never done before, and just all these new people can be quite freaky at the start. Do
you remember who you got on with first?
I think it was Connor and Valaire. They were at some table. You look for people you're similar. You think like, if I'm going to go in here and arm wrestle for the first time, I'll find people that look similar to me, just so I'm not getting absolutely destroyed. Still did anyway. Definitely overdid it on my first session. Did a lot of hook pulling, a lot of inside pulling, especially when your elbows aren't ready for it. And I didn't come for a month and a bit after my first session.
All right.
Yeah. So
what made you want to come back?
Well, I'd been watching some videos and they told you like this pain that you get in your elbows, especially when you're new, it goes away eventually. When your tendons and your muscles get used to that sort of awkward pressure, they can recover much quicker and you'll be able to spend more time on the table. That's when I thought, well, I've already done one session and it killed me nearly. I want to stick at it and try and get to that point where I can actually enjoy it every week and recover quicker and then just try to progress for my own sort of satisfaction. Yeah.
How fast are you recovering now?
Much quicker, to the point where I want to do more arm wrestling right now.
All right.
After tonight, I feel good after a session. Yeah, it's awesome.
Right. So
awesome.
would you say that you're pretty much 100% like 4 days after, or?
Yeah. Well, I usually do my next arm wrestling session, on a Tuesday, on a Wednesday. But yeah, if it's a real tough session, the Monday and the Tuesday particularly starts to get a little bit achy, and by Wednesday, Thursday, you're rocking.
Okay.
No problems at all. So
Wow.
back in the gym doing all your lifts and stuff like that. So
3-4 days.
yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Wow.
That's usually how it goes. Is that how it is for you?
That's about where it is for me now after 4 years.
It hurts for the first 10 years.
Yeah, that's right.
But wait, you've got a big fitness background before arm wrestling too, don't you?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Because that's what I thought might have contributed to it, because I'd been sort of weightlifting since I was 16, 17. So I thought, well, maybe that's played a part in pushing me ahead of like that recovery curve, because at least I've got a physical activity background.
Yeah. Well, I was still training, obviously, in the gym as well. So, Sunday night would be arm wrestling, and then Monday would be, say, chest, and then Tuesday,
I couldn't
legs
do
or
that.
something like that.
Yeah, I can't do that.
Yeah.
You're just not trying hard enough, Alex.
Exactly. I must be training real slack on a Sunday if I can recover by Thursday. But no, I can't. I usually do anything that requires arms in the gym. I'll do Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Yeah.
Monday's usually legs.
Yes. Yeah, that's
just to let the elbows
yeah.
catch up. Because if I start
Thursday.
benching, or if I start doing pull-ups and like the deceleration on the way down, that just flares everything up and you start to ache in your elbows and it's not fun.
No, that's right. Yeah, probably Thursday it's this. Yeah, so Sunday we'll be training, and then I might do like legs and then chest, and then I don't know, something that doesn't involve as much arms as you can. And then Thursday is when I actually do biceps, because if I do biceps say Friday or Saturday, it's like
you don't
Sunday.
Exactly. You don't. So Wednesday, Thursday is the day.
Yeah.
You got to like make use of that time.
Exactly.
That's when you're doing all your heavy, all your heavy curls and things like that, and all your cupping and stuff like that. Yep.
And Canberra Drakes asked, what's the date for AW3? We are still looking to lock it in. We're waiting on some venues to get back to us to make sure that we are locked in. But we're probably looking at late October, so around that time frame. But yes, once we've got the date and we know everything is confirmed, we will make the announcement. But
so there's a few venues in the mixes there.
Yeah, there's one in particular that we want, and we just want to make sure that we can get it. And we have approached a couple just as backups, but
the top floor of the Intercontinental Hotel.
That's right, outdoors on the actual
patio.
roof,
on
the helicopter
awesome
pad.
Awesome.
The loser gets thrown off.
Okay.
Into the pool. It's fine. Into the pool. It's a long way down. Darren Broad says there's more new people every week than the total amount of members from 2017. It's correct. Yes, it has been very good in terms of growth, in terms of new people finding the sport and wanting to come along to the club and try arm wrestling. And we're trying to push that as much as we can. It does help having these big events here in Adelaide with AWE. And getting international talent, and then being able to showcase that, and even with the after pulling stuff, and having the MMA guys sort of come over and give that a go for the first time. And it is still a combat related sport with leverage, positioning, and speed, and power, and strength, and agility, and technique, all involved in. Whereas very similar with MMA, so. The crossover is there and the appeal is there, and anybody can do that. They can just put their arm on the table and have a go, regardless of your skill level, which is, fantastic. It's one of the things I really like about the sport is that, you can do it with kids, you can do it with older people, with people who have no strength whatsoever, no sporting background, and they can actually have a really good time. Like, they can put their arm there and you can be messing around and showing them technique and all these different things, and they're laughing and having fun. And it's like, you don't need any equipment apart from the table. I mean, you can do it anywhere, really. You can be on a kitchen bench or on a on a bar top or wherever. You just put you on the floor, put your arm down and just show people how to do it. It's not even a basketball court. You're gonna have a court. You're gonna have a ball. You're gonna, tennis. You're gonna have the rackets. You're gonna have the court, the net. Table tennis or golf. You're gonna have the thing. Yeah.
There's some situations where just arm wrestling on a random table cannot work out in your favor.
It does,
especially when you see people that don't know how to arm wrestle using the corner.
Yeah.
And they have to find a way to get both their elbows on this corner and arm wrestle. One of them's in a position that is very, very, very frightening.
Yeah, exactly. You'd want to have two people that knew what they were doing, or at least one person instructing or showing the other person what to do.
Yeah.
Because that's where you get all those arm break videos from, when you get two people who have no idea what they're doing. But I do liken it to two people getting in the boxing ring who have no idea what they're doing and just being like, okay, let's go. You're both in the ring and let's just see what happens.
Grand experiment.
Nothing good is going to happen in that moment. It's exactly the same with arm wrestling. It's like two people who have no idea what they're doing and they have an idea. Oh, I'm just going to push sideways, and they're going to push sideways too. Guess what happens? One of your arms going to break, or you're going to pin them, or they're going to pin you. That's the result. One of those three things will happen. So yeah, but I do love the fact that anybody can just jump up and have a go. And if you're stronger than them, or if you have better technique than them, they can learn from you. If they're stronger or better technique, then you can learn from them. And immediately, you can start be helping each other. And I always think it's kind of funny when somebody comes along to the club for the first time. I just think the amount of information they just get.
Oh yeah, like 25 people. Like, no, listen here, dude. You need to like writhe more, and then you gotta like come in. No, you gotta like supinate and rise at the same time.
Yeah. Because especially if you're going from person to person, and each person is telling you different stuff.
No, when he said totally useless. No, don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Why are you doing that? It's really weak.
Yeah, I've seen a bit of that.
It's like, just ignore everybody else. Just listen to me.
There's good intention there. We're trying to pass on our knowledge.
That's right.
Get someone a head start.
When the back technique feels strong, but then when they do it properly, it feels weak, and they stop doing it.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah. It's fun when people they'll spend 20 minutes like learning something, and then they want to have a match. And it's like, you're not having a match. Like, it's no.
Does that happen? Someone's just like, yeah, I want a super match now. I'm ready.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I've learned the technique. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, definitely. Even with Grant tonight against you, it was his first ever match. And I wasn't sure up until probably last week that he was ready for a match.
Yeah.
And if I felt that he wasn't, then I wouldn't have let him do it.
Yeah.
No, you're going to hurt yourself.
Yeah.
So until somebody can really demonstrate that they understand the difference between a training pool and somebody going full 100% off of a completely stopped start in a super match, it is completely different. Yeah. And somebody's giving it everything they've got in that super match, and they're going from 0 to 100 in a quarter of a second. And if you're not ready for that, if you don't know what you're doing in terms of technique or positioning, you could hurt yourself. And I don't want anybody to get hurt. So it's like Ash, Goku. I had to hold him back for quite a while because he was doing all side pressure. Like all side pressure, no, like all pure this. And it was like every time he pulled, I'm like,
all it takes is for one person. So
So he was winning against a lot of the lighter guys because he's quite strong. But if he was going in a match with somebody who was using technique or who was just able to, contain that side pressure, which as soon as you start moving up the weights or the experience level, and people can just roll through that, like you are such a dangerous position. So had to convince him you must get some level of cup. If you're going to go sideways, you're gonna have to convince me you're not going to be just doing it completely flat wristed. There'll be some level of protection here that So, but he did, and he still, has a very side pressure style, but he does do more correct technique now.
Adds a bit of back pressure as well.
Back pressure. His top roller is starting to go like it wide around as well.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's so much stronger when you do it correctly as well. You can, side pressure is an important element, but if you're just using that, it's It has its limitations, and it is so
does.
dangerous at the start and the beginning of his career.
Mm.
Draxler says he wasn't sure if the date was announced. It hasn't been announced as of yet. We are waiting on confirmation. Basically talking hieroglyphics when explaining arm wrestling to a new puller. Yeah, that's right. Just got to use your riser here. And are you a hooker or are you a top
We'll talk about
roller?
it tonight. The terminology sounds so weird to someone who's new.
That's right.
Pronate.
Yeah.
What now?
Pronate, is that like a tablet or something?
Yeah.
What with
Did
my
you have your
mates?
pronate tonight before you came here?
That's right, exactly. Yeah, there's so many different terms and elements, and so many of them there's sexual innuendos on it
Yeah.
as well. You know, the strap on, the hooker, he's real slippery.
And then we slipped.
He's had a couple of inches on me.
Yeah, yeah.
He went real deep inside.
Yeah. And then I caught him.
Yeah, that's all right. Got him and slipped to put the strap on. Yeah,
Going off floppy.
he's got floppy
Flop
flop wrist. Yeah,
And the
flop.
ref intervened.
He's
and I was like,
flopped.
oh.
The ref intervened. Absolutely. Draxler says Goku has a crazy hand too for his weight. Yeah, absolutely. So I think he what does he weigh about
70.
between
He's about 70.
He's under 70.
No, oh, yeah, about 70.
68, 69.
Really?
It's under 70.
Wow. Yeah. Because that weight class he could do quite well. I mean, it's dominated in Australia by Josh.
He did really good at the SA Open.
The Titans
Titans
Open.
Open.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's got a lot of potential.
Which he won 2 classes, didn't he?
It's been a while. I don't remember.
I know he
off
won
the
the
top of my head.
lowest class, and then he did really well in the next class up.
Yeah, I'd say so.
For
Actually,
sure.
I think you're right because we were talking about the swagger. That's right. He was getting a swagger as he throughout the day.
Oh, was he? I didn't
It
realize
was
that.
the
The first
best.
match, his first match was me.
Right.
So once he had, I remember we start the match, he gets his cup in, and I know it's over, and he looks me in the eye, dead in the eye, and just goes. From that moment on, yeah.
No, because it was. This is what I was doing the commentary with Jake, the Aussie arm wrestler, and it was in this building. Actually, it was right down there. And the first match, he's come up and he's a little bit nervous and all the rest of it. And obviously, if it was against yourself, he got the win. And the next match, he looked a bit more confident. By the end of this, his shirt was pulled up like this. He's walked up like all swag up to the table, and he's put his arm down like like this full sweeping move, like this. It kept getting more exaggerated.
Love his moxie. It's good.
But after the 70s, I think he went in the 80s and he just got absolutely flattened in his first match. The
sleeve
went
comes
right
down. The arm deflates.
Fantastic. Yeah. The swagger jacker. That's why I gave him that award at the end of the year, the swagger jacker. Terrence has one of the terms that is quite funny in arm wrestling: rise and prolapse.
What's prolapse in arm?
Prolapse is not involved in arm wrestling. It is a different term you can look up later.
Put in the dark on this.
That's the best I can say.
It's something that shouldn't happen to your body.
Just say times
What?
after hours.
Is that when you? Okay.
It's
Yeah.
something like
I'll
that.
tell you after the show.
Sure.
That explains a lot.
Yeah, prolapse.
And it's nothing to do with your hand either. The
Oh,
ball,
okay.
Something like a
something that shouldn't be doing that is doing that. The Bollywood swagger, yeah, it was fantastic, and it's one of the things I do actually like going back to watch is just that first match. It's all sort of very standard
yeah.
to the big sweeping arm.
I gotta watch
position.
that back. I didn't realize that was even a thing at
That's
all.
right. And the shirt,
Full
the-
Godzilla.
yeah,
I
the
didn't
shirt
know-
fully pulled up. Yeah,
Really?
yeah,
The wide
yes.
placement.
It was amazing. It was one of the best
Damn.
things that happened. We were laughing so hard doing the commentary for it, and because it was more and more every match. He wasn't conscious of what he was doing, but we could see.
Good on him.
He would have had his shirt off.
Good on him.
That's right. He did have his shirt off at one point, not in the Titans Open,
What?
in the last man standing event
That's
we did
right.
here.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
But some-
Everyone had their shirt off.
they did because it got ridiculously hot in here. You weren't here for that last night. You weren't here for that one either. Yeah.
I watched it on your YouTube channel.
Oh, that was
After
amazing.
the fact, yeah.
I absolutely loved that. For people who don't know what the last man standing event was, it was actually in this room that we're in right now. And you asked me before what that door leads to behind over there, and it just simply leads to a corridor that loops back around. And we used that to our advantage for the last man standing. So the last man standing is basically the king of the table for an hour, which means the winner stays on. the person who is in the winner
Hour.
position at the 60-minute mark, as it hits 60 minutes, whoever's in the king position wins $500. And so
Cash in the bank.
yeah, absolutely. And so I had to think a lot about, people that would be stalling or people that would be deliberately not pinning when they could pin and all that sort of thing. So I had to create a rule set that was very much, you must give it your best effort and you must try to pin. Like, you can't just sit there and deliberately stall. Any slip, like if they slipped, I would stop the timer. So they'd put the strap, they'd apply the strap.
Put the strap on.
Apply the strap.
Get the strap on.
And then when they were ready to go again, it was go. And then I would start the timer again. You're not getting an advantage by slipping. So, because, obviously if somebody's sitting in the king position and
the king's just slipping all the
and
time.
they're like, oh, I slipped.
I
Oh no. I get 3 minutes of sitting in this position now and I'm going to mess around, make it hard for the referee. None of that. So that didn't help at all. And it was instant starts. So walk up to the table, hands together, go. Walk up, hands together, go. Walk up, hands together, go. And it was that speed. It was no like messing around with shoulders or anything like that. It's just take your grip, go. So it was fast paced and it was tremendous. I think out of the hour, there's obviously there's 60 minutes, and I think there was like almost 300 matches, which is a match every, 12 seconds or something. Like, it was just nonstop. Yeah. So it was whoever's in the king position gets $500. Whoever holds the king position for the longest amount of time gets $500. So Last the Berserker Botta actually took away both of those titles. But yeah, we started with 8 people or something like that, and very quickly people started dropping out because it's extremely taxing.
Yeah, and a whole hour.
Yeah, that's right. And that's why it'd be amazing to do that with a big group of people, say 30 people or something like that. Because if you are able to, even if you're super strong and like really dominant, you're gonna get tired.
Yeah,
and especially if person after person after person, there's no break. Like, you win, next person's right there. You win, next person's right there. You're gonna get exhausted. Especially,
it'll really highlight people's endurance levels, like the variation in endurance between people. Some people rise up later on as the other person tires out.
That's right.
They're still keeping their strength where the other guy's just gassed out.
That's right. And a lot of people said, oh, well, I'm just not going to try until the last bit. And it's like,
you're done.
Well, no, but I said, you can do that. But I said, there's no guarantee that you'll be on the table near when that hour mark comes up.
Oh, because you're not telling them.
Well, no, they knew what the timer was, but you can't, like, say that there is some back and forth, and then there's like 5 people ahead of you and there's 1 minute left. You're not going to get on the table, and you might be fresh as. It's like, I'm going to dominate everyone. Yeah, but you don't get your shot because it's like there's 5 people ahead of you and 1 minute left. So you timed it badly.
Yeah, gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So yeah, it was great. I really enjoyed it. And that last minute, it was like they were running around to get their next shot, running around to get their next shot. It was, and Tim could have won it as well. I think he went against last 3 matches before the end, and it was really close, and it didn't quite. I don't know, he did something, and like, I don't know what happened. Maybe last slipped or something like that. But he was really close to, and I think he would have had it because the next couple of guys, Tim would have dominated him. And it was like, but no, he missed it on that.
That's
and
it.
And then he ran round and he's waiting, and then it was time up. But so that was great. I really enjoyed it.
That's awesome.
Canberra Dragstar. I wonder what would have happened if you throw all matches until the end. Well, that's exactly what we were just talking right there. So you can do that, and you can walk up and give up your turn every single time. Doesn't mean that you're actually going to get an opportunity to be in the king position at the end. And if you start sort of being like, okay, if it's 45 minutes, I'm going to really start trying to hold the king position now. It's like, maybe you can hold it till 52, 53, but then you get tired, or maybe you try at 52, 53, and it's like, you might get tired, or somebody else might have done the same thing.
You might not win.
That's right.
Okay, I'm locked out.
Yeah, and you gave it your effort one time and you lost, and then you got to run around, you got to wait, and it's like, oh, so yeah, there's that strategy to it, but that doesn't mean it's going to work out for you.
No,
your best bet is to sit.
That's to try your hardest every round.
Exactly, and if you do that, especially in the early rounds, if people are trying to just let you win, if they're just laying down, it's like, I'm going to get $500 because I'm going to hold this position the longest. Because if you guys just keep laying down against me, guess what? I'm going to get $500. I'm going to be sitting in this spot the whole time.
True.
And if you want only try at the end, well, I've already won $500. Do you know what I mean? And I've got a shot to actually win the other 500. So yeah,
it's a big risk if you play it like that.
Yeah. And the idea is not to do it that way because I don't want to see people just going, "Oh, I lost."
Yeah.
I would feel like just get out. Right?
Yeah.
I don't want you doing that.
Yeah.
Get out.
Yep.
You're not in
100%.
this. I want people to try.
Yep.
Don't turn up here and sign up to a competition and not try.
Yep.
I hate people that do that. I'm getting angry, but it's
I can't feel the heat from here.
yeah, that's it. And
Hey.
Jaden says, hey to you. How are you tonight? Well, it's nice. We're doing a late session. It's almost 1 in the morning here. We did some training in the building and we went out and had some food. The Pancake Kitchen, which was open 24 hours. And did you guys have pancakes?
I didn't. You did.
I had some performance enhancing
Performance.
loaded with banana.
Very nice.
About 6 of them.
You did actually. You got a meal and then doubled the meal.
Yeah.
I will have 2 of every part of that meal.
Oh yeah, they were going insane just reading it out when they came in to give it to you.
Yeah.
What was the actual meal called?
It's called the farmer's something.
Farmer's breakfast.
Farmer's breakfast, double everything,
Double
and
everything.
this, that, and that.
And add
Plus a
sausage.
strange thing.
And they even went like, "Whew, who's eating that?"
Yeah, when the guy put it down, it's like that's just insane.
Got to keep the beast fed.
That's
So
right.
that-
That's why I'm the best.
That's right.
that.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
But
Did you eat all of it?
muscles. Yeah, I did, but it didn't taste nice at the end of the pancakes. So I think it was too soggy. I think maybe I put too much maple syrup on it. Just didn't taste nice at the end, so I couldn't finish it.
Well, there you go. Well, Jaden Keogh says, "Matt, I'll beat you one day." Well, that day may not be today, but love to go against you on the table anytime. And my skinny ass friend still beat me. Well, that's all right. We all start somewhere. And
Let's start the hieroglyphics. We just gotta pronate, and then you just gotta drag and cup. And what that guy says is wrong. It's all right. We got you.
That's it. Yeah. So, well, if your friends are still beating you, but if you stick with it, you will surpass them because technique and ability over time
Beats talent.
Exactly. Well, yeah.
Hard work.
Yeah, that's right. And even if they're skinny and they're your mates, but they don't know how to arm wrestle properly, as soon as you sort of start to develop the techniques and the foundation of strength, you'll start making it harder for them, and then they probably won't actually want to arm wrestle you at that point because they'll realize, he's actually catching up to me here. And then when you surpass them, and you'll be going, "Let's have an arm wrestle. Come on, let's have it." And they're like, "Oh no, my arm's really sore from all the eating that I've been doing."
Well, the Hammer was still at school when he first was here, wasn't he?
Yes.
I reckon that dynamics changed a lot. He's like, I just started arm wrestling. Oh, it's a bit tough. And now it's like he's got no one left to arm wrestle.
Yeah, he's increased in strength enormously.
Oh yeah.
Since he started with the club, and it's felt like every week he was increasing by a significant percentage. He's doing amazing. I don't know if you guys have got on with him tonight, but
I literally said to him tonight, like his forearm section to me looked at least 30% bigger than from what I saw 6 months ago. His forearms are just getting enormous by the week.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So as the AWE junior champion, so he won against Jamie Barrett to get that title at AWE 1, and then AWE 2 he went against Ethan Tunstall from Brisbane, and was able to secure a dominant victory there. Although it was quite amusing for me watching that victory take place, because the very first round we had Channel 7 in the building to do a story on Hamza, which they did, which was great. But the cameraman's all lined up, they're filming Hamza, and then they say go, and Hamza goes, "Oh my God, this is so effing easy."
What's the censor man for anyway? He needs to get paid too.
And I saw the cameraman go,
So they can't use that. They can't use that at all.
Can't use that on the news.
Really?
No, you
on the
can't
news all the
swear.
time. I hear things bleeped out.
Oh, well, you don't want to bleep out a sporting event. Like,
Okay, right. Yeah,
So anyway, I think they did actually still use some of that shot, but obviously not where.
They just put a dub over it.
No, you couldn't
Wow,
see
I'm
his
having a
mouth.
great time.
Yeah,
They just didn't use the audio.
they just used the audio. Yeah, they just put on repeat.
Did he actually swear?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, he did.
Were you there?
Yeah. I was
Remember, he
there.
looked at us dead in the eye in the
he's like,
crowd.
oh, this. I thought it was just. This is too easy.
oh no.
But no,
It's not in his nature.
No, not at all. Did you guys do a comp in town a few weeks back? We haven't. Well, sorry, we did actually. We had the AWE here. AWE 2 was in Adelaide at the Adelaide Oval. That was July the 2nd, I believe. So yeah, it's only July the 24th now. So yeah, a few weeks ago we did, and it was an amazing event. And all three of the gentlemen here came along. And you enjoy them yourselves at the event? Yeah, we had Toddzilla in the building, and
Fantastic event.
yeah,
Amazing to be a part of it.
Yeah.
Did anybody go on with Toddzilla at all?
Didn't pull him, but I my introduction with him was he was explaining something to someone, and I was just standing there watching, and he needed to explain something with the hands, and he just gives me his beer. He says, "Hold this," and he gives this to me. I never spoke to him. I'm just like standing there watching. Gives this to me. He takes it back and he goes, "I'm sorry, I should introduce myself first. Todd Hutchins."
That's awesome.
Awesome to meet
It's
him.
okay, Mr. Hutchins. You can give me your beer anytime.
That's right. That's right.
I'll hold your beer.
I'll be your official beer holder.
Amazing to meet that man.
Yeah,
Seeing him on the internet, like I watch his WL match with Devin Lara all the time, and I'm just always blown away by his strength and his side pressure power to take like a guy like Devin Lara and force him into a King's move is like mind blowing. Yeah. So I got a lot of admiration for him. It was awesome to meet him, even to feel that hand for like 0.1 of a second.
Yeah, just to shake his hand.
What's his arm made out of?
Oh yeah, titanium. Yeah, I don't know.
Bones,
oh, he's insane. He's absolutely insanely strong, especially at his weight class to put the heaviest guys in the world. I mean, Matawaringi is 172 kilos.
Yep.
Which is a person above where Todd was sitting, and Todd still was able to win. It's just like absolutely, and not just win, he was dominant as well. It's incredible to have him here in Adelaide, and if somebody of his caliber and his talent. Did you get on the table with any of the guys from the event?
There were some people that did. There's some people from the club here that got on with Lachlan.
Yep.
Lockie Adair for a little while. They got to pull with him and ask him some questions. That was really cool.
Artem, I got on with Artem.
Oh, did you?
Got on with Ryan, Lachlan, Adair.
Awesome.
I think that was it.
All at the same time.
All at the same time.
And he beat all of them.
Yeah, they all had all three arms against yours.
And I was lifting
I don't think Toddzilla pulled anyone. He just left shortly after the event, didn't
he? He did not leave shortly. He was there for hours afterwards.
Really?
He was next to me at the bar, like when I was doing the stream.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It felt like maybe it felt like he disappeared from the air, but he was still
there. If you look to your right, you would have seen.
When you're doing it, but when you're actively participating in the after polling, you're not completely aware of where everyone is and what's going on. So it feels like they just disappear. They're still around somewhere.
That's right. Brandon, if you bring the microphone nice and close to your mouth, I'll be able to hear you properly. It should be like, you see how close mine is here? Yeah. That's because if you talk away like this, where you are, it's a little bit hard to hear, but yeah, it should be right nice and close. Perfect.
There we go.
There you go. Now everyone can hear the sultry tones of Brandon, the beast.
You should do an audio book.
Brandon's velvety voice.
That's right. Absolutely. Dragster, did any of you lads after Paul Toddzilla? Well, yeah, we just found out the story of him handing Alex his beer, which is as good, just as good.
Awesome. Oh, and I've got this photo on my phone. The photo that I got with Toddzilla, and I was like, oh, this is an okay photo. Yeah, look all right, whatever. Then I looked at it closer. It turned out to be a real star-filled photo. You got Toddzilla. I got Ryan Bowen in the middle doing this, putting his fingers up. And then I forget the super heavyweight from New Zealand. He's also in the frame as well.
Wow.
All in the one picture. I didn't notice that until later. And me, like,
the real star of the.
That's right.
That's right. No,
did they pay you to get the photo?
No, not at all.
They would have been so happy getting a photo with you.
I know. I just got this guy from like Adelaide that just no one knows. Like, awesome.
They were lining up.
Tell you what, though, I look like a little chicken wing next to Toddzilla. He's something different.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Jordan still had a bigger smile on his face. He was waiting for you to give him an autograph.
That's right. Yeah, stop the autographs.
Up and down.
Stop the autographs early on. I was getting a bit tired.
A bit overwhelmed.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Cosmic Echo says, who's the youngest and oldest member of your club at the same time? Youngest and oldest at the same time. No, he didn't say that. The youngest would be, probably was Hamza, because he's only 18 at the moment, but he probably started it when he was 17. I think he's probably
16
still
maybe,
he's probably still the youngest.
The youngest
there's
active member.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There's a really young kid that comes every now and
Yeah,
then.
yeah,
Like,
16.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
he comes like once every month
Yeah.
or
Yeah. Yep. Yes. Well, yeah, we haven't seen him for quite a while, but I'd say of active members, it would be Hamza Hodzic, who is the AWE junior champion at 18 years old, and oldest.
Saw Doctor Shane Opie.
Yeah, possibly. How old is Richard?
I think they're all in their 50s.
Yeah. It's probably the Saw Doctor Shane Opie, or it could be Hands of Stone Richard Gibbs. Possibly. I'm not sure, but those two guys. So the good thing about arm wrestling again is that you can literally do it at any age, and even if you're like 65, 70 years old, you can still come in and have fun. Like you don't have to be. I'm trying to be a world champion. It's like you can come in and literally have a good time. Like just let me try, and maybe you can't sort of beat anybody, but you're still going to learn things and get better. And enjoy, everyone at the club is very friendly, and we all enjoy being able to show you arm wrestling and techniques, and you get to watch super matches and really be around it. And then sometimes I'm just standing back, just watching a couple of guys like in a training pool, and it's just like, I say it's you and Neo, and you just guys are messing around. It's like, I just want to watch this because it's fun, So yeah, that's great. Anybody can come along and have fun. Jaden says here, did you guys see that Devon was charged with assault or something? Yeah, we did discuss this earlier. Yeah, so I don't know, it was called abuse. Yeah, abuse, which
charged
is
with abuse.
Yes, with the ethics committee at the Canadian Nationals. But yeah, I don't think anything will come of that. Really, I think it's if anything, it makes Ryan Espy look a little bit. I'm not going to say silly, but I want to say unsportsmanlike, a bit.
And the fact that it happened after
doesn't make him look good.
The event as well. Like if he really had a problem with it, he would have called it out then and then,
right
there and then.
Yeah.
But no, he's brewed on it.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. I don't think, as I said, I don't think it will go anywhere, and I don't think anything will come of it, and I don't think Devon really cares that much. Jaden, again, we've got some Jaden. He's up late, or if he's fine, I don't know. Sure, but my fault. I'll make it next week. I promise. Awesome. We'd love to see you there. And I haven't come because the guy on the right destroyed my left arm. There you go.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
You know why I pulled you over?
Oh, that's great. Well, he's destroyed your left. He's destroyed your left arm. Well, that was not nice of you, Alex.
There's no reason why you shouldn't be here. If that's your car, there's no reason why you can't make it to training. That thing would get you here in no time. So.
You're a bully.
Oh, that's Jaden. That's the 16-year-old.
Yeah. So he's up late. He's on school holidays, but it is a school night, Jaden.
Yeah,
get your homework done, Jaden.
He probably hasn't got it yet. Monday's the first day
Get your
back.
homework done, mate. All right.
Probably just dreading going back to school. But maybe there's always asking who's the youngest, because it probably is you. If you were more active at the club, we would say it's you. So yes, but we'd love to see you back. And the fun thing for me was when you came along and you knew who everyone was already, and you must have watched the YouTube videos and stuff like that, which is amazing for us. Like when anybody says, "Oh, yeah, Hollywood,"
that happened today. One of the new guys that came today, he's like, I've seen you on YouTube before.
Hey!
You're like, oh,
really?
Yeah, that's amazing.
I've seen you arm wrestling before. Oh,
that's so cool.
Have you been recognized out in public before?
Yeah, a little bit.
No.
Not a lot, but like, every now and then.
Every day.
Movies.
That's a movie cinema.
Yeah, no, I've been for the movies as well every now and then. But
awesome.
Yeah, it's always absolutely amazing. It's probably only been 20 times or something like that, but over whatever. But yeah, it's just incredible. And
awesome.
It's like, it's like, you've actually seen the stuff I put up. Like, it just feels like no one's watching a lot of the time.
I'm watching it.
Yeah, that's right.
Number one fan.
That's it, absolutely. And Phil Woody has jumped back in. It says bug shout out for elbow on Sumo.
Elbow foul.
Well, I've said it now, so he probably heard me. We have to do it. We have to randomly timer or something.
Elbow foul, Daz. We're going to a restart. A running foul. Keep pulling. Keep pulling.
Keep pulling. It's a running foul, absolutely. Jaden says, yeah, one of my friends heard of you before I started going to the club. Oh, that's amazing. Or that's
Yeah.
Is his
Bring-
name elbow foul?
Bring the friend as fun as well. Bring the friend as well.
yeah,
Yeah.
Your friend
absolutely.
referred. Yeah.
Everybody and anybody is welcome. That's one of the other good things about the club is that I always say anybody can come along. It's free to attend. We provide everything. All the tables are there. All you got to do is just turn up, and you'll probably have a really good time.
Mm.
Just as soon as you get there, you're immediately going to be on the tables straight away. So, hey, nice to meet you. Okay, have you ever done this before? Come over to the table. Let's have a look. Straight away.
Yeah, awesome.
There's no having to mess around and gear up and
No,
this
no.
or that and get changed into the outfit and none of that. It's
Like before you do laser tag, you sit in that room and they play the video.
yeah.
And
But
they
no one
go
wants
through
it.
all the rules and stuff. Can't climb the walls. Can't do this. Can't do that.
Can't use real guns.
Can't use real guns.
I
Exactly.
hate that
That's the
rule.
most disappointing.
Arm wrestling is straight into it, straight on the table.
Yeah, I love that. I love that fact. It's like you've walked into the room. Oh, there's somebody standing over there. Let's go over there. You spoken to? Do you know who that is? No. Okay, let's go talk to him. Hey, how are you? Nice to meet you. Oh, your first time here? Oh, great. Come over here. Get on the table. Straight away.
Easy as that.
Interesting way to meet people.
That's
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
Get over here.
So have you done this before? Oh no, not really. I've been watching. Oh, cool. All right. Well, you do your thing. I'll just hold it, just see what you're doing. And
It's good.
Have you heard of
usually
Kevin
it's
Durant?
always side pressure, but yeah, it's straight away. The great thing is within 5 minutes, they are 10 times stronger than they were 5 minutes before.
Mm.
Yeah.
I always like to say to people, you would destroy yourself from 10 minutes ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
Doing what you're doing right now, if it was a cloned version of you from 10 minutes ago that then stood against, you would absolutely floor them. And the cloned version of you going, how are you doing that? You're so ridiculously strong.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Seeing just those little adjustments, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I actually really I've got to work now to stop you from doing that.
Yeah,
Which
that happened tonight as well.
Mm.
We had a couple of people. I think one's been coming for a couple of weeks that was here tonight, but I think there was a first guy here tonight.
Mhm.
I jumped on the table with him. Not sure if you guys did as well, but after I sort of showed them the rising, top rolling, pronating.
Is this the
after
guy with the
they-
big hand and long arm?
Yeah,
Yeah.
After he got that down pack, it was noticeably harder to hold.
Oh, great.
So I think he'll recover and bring that skill set next week.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah. It's one of those things where people will come in and they try it for the first time and maybe they do have a really good time, but then because they were enjoying themselves so much and they've gone way too hard.
Yeah.
And then they're like yourself, it takes them a month to recover. And then they're like,
Big
oh.
regret.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
yeah.
I've been like religiously telling people now, like, don't overdo it.
Yeah.
Even if you feel like you can just go crazy on your first night, do not
Right.
do it. I can
Yeah.
tell you from experience, it's the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
But even if you do feel some pain, that will go away eventually. If you stick with it and give yourself a lot of time to recover, your elbows will adapt to that.
Absolutely. You need to slide a little bit this way.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. Because you're sort of doing this, and every time you do
Get
that,
a big
you
I
disappear.
go a little bit across. My bad.
It's fine. It's just funny because you're literally coming into frame and then going out.
Like, see ya.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe we
Yeah.
should cuddle.
Hey?
Maybe we should
Yeah,
cuddle.
we should. I think it's, what is it, 1:30 now? It's probably about time.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. It's and Jack, your experience at the club. How did you find out about arm wrestling?
Theon, Ajax.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, we're in the same sort of friendship group. And a night out, a few drinks. I'm like, I think Theon he was arm wrestling with Adam. There was a guy who I think he came only once or twice.
Elbow foul.
There you go, elbow foul.
Adam the elbow foul.
No, I saw it. We all saw it. Came right up off the front.
Sorry.
Cannot deny it.
Right. Yeah.
They were messing around, and I'm like, yeah, I'll jump on with Theon. Did my thing, got destroyed, got hurt. I was all side pressure, didn't know what I was doing. But then he explained that there's a club, and I'm like, yeah, well, the hell, I'll go. I'll see how it goes. Then I
I
came
remember when you
along.
showed up.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yep.
reckon you're the first person I pulled as well.
You're such an easy pull until 10 minutes later.
Exactly right.
when I said, no, mate, just pull this way.
Go like
And
this. Oh, okay.
ever
okay.
since, it's just been game over. I'm starting to think maybe I should stop telling people what to do so I can enjoy just a little bit of time in the light.
Yeah,
Did you do it?
Hey,
Did you do it?
what?
Elbow foul.
Elbow foul.
I hope it's worked.
Oh, that'd be great. We'll have to wait for Phil Woody to say whether or not that his mate has gone the classic. I think was it Daz or something? Or
Yeah.
I don't know, can't remember. But Sumo Daz. There you go. Sumo Daz. Yeah, elbow foul on Sumo Daz. But yeah, and then once you came along to the climb, what was your experience like then?
A lot of pain. A lot of pain.
And then you arm wrestled after that.
Yeah.
Because you were bringing
The
paracetamol and
fire.
stuff to the club, weren't you?
Oh, I had it
Is
in
that
my
you?
car.
Yeah.
Nurofen?
Yeah. I handed it out. I was handing
You had an
it out.
EpiPen at one point.
EpiPen.
Like, I was like, what is this
Yeah,
I
guy?
had a defibrillator.
Just in case. Just in
Mate.
case. I had a first aid kit attached to my belt.
Awesome.
Just in case there was some blood. I think Alex was the first person who kind of showed me the movements and whatnot. So I just took it easy with him. I'm sure I tried.
True that.
I sure took it easy.
He always does now because
I
he's
was
not.
always down
he's not
like
gonna get
this, you know?
Yeah.
He had his arm down this way. I don't know
Right.
why.
Yeah, that's his specialty.
Like a kick move,
Nice.
but with his
Yeah.
wrist bent back. Something like that.
I was just watching some of those old Eastern pullers. They said it's really powerful. They said it's really good.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
You always get the same result every time.
Well, yeah, you get that bicep lock. When you're like this,
Yeah.
you can create that like
Mm.
chain.
Well, it worked for Hermes against Perini.
Exactly.
Mm.
Exactly.
Mm.
So
I did.
Yeah.
there's some science behind it. It's not just speculation.
And so after you went on with Alex, you jumped on with a few of the other.
Yeah. I can't remember exactly. I think Stephen was one of the people that showed me through some techniques as well.
Mhm.
But yeah, on my first night, it's just a lot to take in.
Mhm.
But as soon as you go for the first time, you realize there's this world that you can dive into. So yeah, it was just a lot of videos watching after that.
Mhm.
Recovering because there was quite a bit of pain,
Bit of crying.
bit of crying, a lot of crying.
Hey, but now you're out here
Crying.
training, showing people the ropes yourself.
Elbow fouling.
Yeah, a lot of elbow fouling. Tonight, there was a couple new people.
Yep.
I've just been showing them what I've been taught. Proper way to do things so that they don't get injured.
Yeah.
But like you said as well, we have to explain to them that they are going to feel pain.
Yeah.
It's something you have to get used to.
But it will go away and it will lessen.
After the first 10 years.
Yeah.
Maybe not that.
Sure.
I don't know if I would have come back if I knew I had to throw 10 years on it.
Canberra.
Too late. Once you start, you just saw for 10 years.
It's
Yeah,
just
May as well
yeah.
keep going.
consistent.
He is.
Pain.
Canberra Drags says he remembers his first training. He had massive circle bruises under the biceps near the elbow. Fun times. Yeah.
Yeah, I hate when you get into a fight in your first training session. It's just not good. It's not good.
Yeah, it is one of those. Have you guys had bruises on your hips or like your
Yes.
stomach or anything from leaning into the table?
No.
No?
Yeah.
I've got a massive bruise here at the moment from that.
Yeah, after my super match with Connor, I had a big blue bruise on my right hip.
Yeah.
Because in those first few rounds, that holding that hook there for so long, just
That's right. I remember
taxing
that.
on the
Yeah.
hips. Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't realize it. You
Yeah.
don't feel it. You don't know it's there.
Nope.
Yep. It just comes up all of a sudden.
Yeah, it sneaks up on you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does.
I remember Taryn was in a match, and you know how you lean like when you're going offensively, and you lean your arm away to give yourself room to, otherwise your arm's going to hit
To
the
go
table.
down, drop down.
And he was not realizing that his arm was right on the corner of the table, and he went down and up sort of several times trying to get this hook position, and he like had this massive cut like across like this huge gash on his bicep.
Drew blood and everything.
Well, it was one of those like real sharp, it wasn't like bleeding out, but
Yeah.
it was real deep, like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mm. He's also got a scar on his hand. He had a super match with Andrew Centofanti, and Andrew was gripping his hand really tightly in the setups, so tightly that I think his nail was like dragging into Taryn's hand.
Really?
And it like cut all of his hand up here. And he's actually got a big scar there now.
Is he not saying anything to the ref? Like, hey, this guy's ripping my hand open.
This guy's elbow fouling.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't think
He did say he just did the whole match, didn't complain about it, didn't say anything, and wait till he got home that night and went, oh, that's probably not good.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I had some band-aids in my car, which I gave him, but they were really old, terrible band-aids.
And they were used.
No, but they were those ones that you stick it on and within 3 seconds it falls off.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, it was completely useless. But
Definitely used.
Finding Nemo on the bandages.
yeah, that's right. Canberra Dragster, has anyone else had a random neck strain or cramp while pulling?
I can't
I've
recall one.
cramped up in my leg before.
Mm.
Yeah.
Just going down for the pin.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it.
I haven't had a cramp yet.
Has anyone come close to fainting?
Oh, you have.
I have lots of
Have you?
times.
Yeah.
Yes.
When you're in that deep hook and you're just everything's
No,
just,
defensively, yeah.
Yeah,
Just trying to hold on. And I think most of the time it's been against Lass.
okay.
There was a time against Tim when he thought you gave up, but really you just nearly passed out.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He's like, he quit. And I was
Video
like,
somewhere.
yeah, that's right. He quit. I was like, he got you to quit. I'm like, I didn't even know where I was.
You can see your facial expression. It was like you went to sleep, went back up. You're like, oh,
there was this white that went like this. And I was like,
You were seeing the light.
Well, like, what? Tim's going, you quit.
Where am I?
I'm like, what's
Where am
happening?
when did I get here?
But it was one of the matches against Lass, and I think it was a super match, and he had dropped down. He had me in an offensive position, and I was about this far from the pin pad, really far out, and I was like not giving up, not quitting, and he couldn't pin me, and when I wasn't, and I couldn't get out of it, and I couldn't drag, I couldn't pronate or anything. I was too far. But I was just holding, and he was sitting, and he's talking crap to me, and he's saying stuff about my shoes because he's see my shoes under the table.
Okay.
And it was like maybe 20, 25 seconds of, trying. And then I've sort of flopped my wrist and gone under and slipped, which, Tim said is a loss, which is fair. It is a loss. But as I've slipped, like I've taken a step back, and then I lost control of my body completely, and I started walking backwards away from the table, and I'm in my mind, I'm like, what are you doing? Stop walking backwards, stop. And I was like staggering
Serious?
away, and I think if I'd gone a little bit closer, I would have like just completely stacked it backwards. But it's on video.
It's on video.
Yeah, but I walk out of frame backwards, and you can see Tim and Lass like looking at me like, "What are you doing?"
Is it on YouTube?
I'm like
Where are you
walking
going?
away backwards. And then I got that real white feeling, and then
Yeah.
it's like, oh, yeah, it's happened quite a bit.
So what's the
actually.
advice then? Remember to breathe while arm
It's
wrestling?
probably breathing, but
Because you're probably holding your breath like.
yeah. I think
Yeah.
against Hamza, I've had it as well.
You didn't sleep for 3 days. That probably didn't help.
Okay.
That's right. There's a couple of videos, and even Lachlan Adair's got one where he was in a training thing with a cable.
Yeah.
And he's
He
trying to do a
passed
max pull, and he's like, and then he's just going.
Serious?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't see that.
Taryn says that my arm's too short and my bicep's too big. If I'm going for a pin, my bicep is hitting the table. I've pulled my hip adductor arm wrestling before. Yeah, I do remember that big injury that you had. I can't remember who it was with, and it might have been. You've seen the Punisher table, the wooden Punisher table that I've got. It's very sharp edges on the
Is
side.
that the green one?
No, it's
So
black.
one.
Yeah, it's made of wood. It doesn't come apart. It's at Dave's office at the moment, but yeah, because you can't disassemble it to be able to put it in the car or put it in the storage room. We were keeping it at Kilburn where we do our training, but when they said we had to put everything away safely, we couldn't keep it in there. So it was taking up too much room. But
Okay.
yeah, but it's very sharp corners. I think it was on that one that Taryn did. So that's probably a reaction to our story there from Canberra Dragster. Taryn, those are first world problems we wish we all had. He's suffering from success and all hook pullers. Anyway, yeah. Yeah, that's right. It's one of those things with be able to move, and different people are going to have different experiences on the table. People who are very tall might have different leverage points or different injuries or different things that are happening to them. There's somebody who might be shorter, who might be, the table might be pressing to their ribs instead of their hips, or all sorts of different things. Yeah.
Or shoulders for some of us.
Shoulders pressing like that.
You just always start the match in a
Constant
King's move. What technique you gonna do this? Oh yeah, I might just King's move again.
Actually, our training last
Always a
Sunday
foul.
with Taryn, we were in the strap, and he said, because he's obviously overpowering me. He said, I'll work on some defense, and I'll let you get positions. So I was like, no worries. And so I had pretty much, I was this far from the pad, and he's holding me there, but I kept sinking lower and lower and lower, and my arm was like up here, and I was literally sitting on the floor. My arms up like this. My elbow was still on there, but only just. And then Taryn's gone to surge, but my arms just straightened. It was just like, didn't go any further than that. And then it was like, and he's like, oh, because you see him give it everything. And it's like, you can't go any further than that. That's where it's going. I'm on the floor. My arm's like extended. It can't go any further. It was so weird.
I think you found the next overpowered move.
Yeah, maybe.
Just
Yeah.
drop.
I think because the camera was on other people, but we were in the background of that shot. I haven't gone back to look through to see if I can see that or not, but I want to see whether or not I can see if I'm. Yeah, because I was sitting like this, and I've got that, and he's surged, and I've just gone straight.
Elbow foul.
Elbow foul. That's it. Terrence says it was the Statue of Liberty move.
Statue of Liberty. Okay, I get it now.
It was great. Well, I don't know. I mean, maybe that is a legitimate thing. My elbow was on the pad.
Wondering how you kept your elbow on the pad, being in such a position like that.
I'm tall.
Mm.
I'm very tall. So
But surely your elbow would have been on the side
it was still
Helps
there.
being 7 foot tall.
panel. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, I'll show you later. I'll be like,
Yeah.
you can work on that technique.
Okay, awesome. I need it.
But it probably would end up, if it went badly, your arm would probably break. So,
But match is not over yet with an arm break.
You have to be willing. You
Yeah.
have to be willing to go that far.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right, absolutely. So, it's getting quite late here. It is 1:30 in the morning. Should we wrap things up, do you think?
Sure.
Any pressing hot questions
Yeah.
coming in from the panel?
Have we've spoken about Dave, Mr. Chafee?
We did.
Little
yeah.
bit.
Dave Chafee,
Yeah,
will
yeah.
be coming in for AWE 4, which will be at an undetermined location at an undetermined time against an undetermined opponent.
For the Intercontinental belt.
Whoa.
Yes, but he has signed an agreement that he will compete with the AWE, so that is
Awesome.
fantastic. Yeah,
It's
Awesome.
pretty awesome. Just getting bigger and bigger. Bigger
Yeah, that's it.
stars.
that's it. Yeah, one day we'll get Alex Stretton on there.
Yeah.
and,
yeah.
On what?
Versus Dave.
Oh, Dave Chafee. Goodness gracious me.
that's
Better
great.
start studying now. Pull up the Devon video.
That's it. That's pulling in three. Well, we've only announced 2 matches officially for AWE 3, and that is Mazahir Saidu and Ryan Bowen, and Josh Barker and Raul Panica.
Mm.
So those are the 2 that we have announced officially so far. But you will find out more, and then upcoming weeks when we confirm and have everything set. So we'd love to tell you now who things are and what matches are there, but I don't want to make announcements that could potentially not happen. So I could say, oh, this person's going as this person, and then somebody gets injured or somebody pulls out or somebody can't make it or the date is wrong or whatever. And then you're like, actually, guys, I was wrong. It's now this person, this is this person. And then that doesn't happen. And then you're like, we're going to stop believing what you say now.
Every new announcement come with a grain of salt.
That's right. Exactly. So we'll wait till we get things locked in. When we make official announcements, they are literally official, and that is what's going to be happening. So we will see Mazahir Saidu and Ryan Bowen. We will see Raul Panica and Josh Barker. That is absolutely confirmed. The other matches, we have a pretty damn good idea as to what they're going to be, but we are going to wait until they are completely confirmed and locked in, and so is the venue and the date before we say this is what's going to happen. Because
Only makes sense.
rumors and speculation doesn't help anybody.
No. But in the meantime, what can people do to support the AWE and the organizations involved with the
Send
sport of arm
all
wrestling?
your money.
Oh,
all
really?
of it.
Really?
Whole bank account.
a whole bank.
Subscribe
Just
to,
Really?
transfer, just a simple transfer.
Yeah.
subscribe to the
PSP
AWE
account number will
podcast.
be linked in the
That's
description.
right. No, that's what the great thing is. Even what people are doing right now, and you guys, what you're doing right now, giving up your time to talk to me or to other fans about arm wrestling is tremendous, and just getting the AWE name out there. And we'll have our website up and running very shortly, and we'll have merchandise on there. We'll have the ability to stream our pay-per-views on there. We'll have different membership profile levels and all sorts of things on there. So those elements will be at play, and anything that that people do to subscribe to the channels or share our content or even just talking about it. And people have been amazing with the support, as we find with most people that do arm wrestling. They're fantastic people. They're very welcoming. They're very generous with their time, and they're very passionate about the sport. And obviously we're coming from a point of view as arm wrestling fans first and foremost. And it's like when we put on an arm wrestling card, they're the matches we want to see. We want to see these matches, and then we're very excited about it. I think that really comes across in the fact, say, with Mario versus Rickard, like I was so excited to see that match. And Lass and Red, it was like, this is going to be amazing. It's like every one of those matches was like, something that I wanted to see. And those elements really come to play when that the person who's behind the organization is a very big fan of the sport and doing absolutely everything and anything they can to promote it. I think that makes a big difference as opposed to, say, a corporate entity or something like that. So
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
awesome.
And a final comment here from Canberra Dragster. He says, love your work. We'll try to make it to Adelaide to see the next event, if it's still in Adelaide. Well, that hasn't been confirmed as of yet, but we'd love to see you at the next event. And
come
we
down
will
anyway.
Yeah, come to Adelaide anyway. We'd love to see you.
Come to the club.
Dragster's been to the club before. Yeah, he's very strong, very good. He's actually very strong on left arm as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think he's number one on right arm
in Russia.
in Russia.
That's what I thought.
In the world.
Last week.
In the world. I thought there was some other large
No, there's no one else.
individual who
Nah.
had that title already.
No, there's not.
Oh, okay. Goodness me.
Who is number one in left? Is it Levant?
Elbow foul.
No, it'd be Morozov.
Oh, okay.
Artyom Morozov. Left arm's just insane.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone wants to challenge that anytime
Maybe
soon.
Harley to Leighton on left arm.
Oh, yeah?
Good match.
Yeah?
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So
Morozov.
bring that to AWE4 or something.
Well,
Or maybe it's on 3, who knows?
maybe.
You can't give anything away.
I can't. These yeah. But it's been great to have everybody here, and a big thank you to the guests. We've got Alex, the Buddy Cop, and Buddy Cop Robert, and Brandon Chan, the Beast, and there it is, the big forearm, which you can't see, Brandon. You got to move into the shot. There it is.
Which side are we on?
It's like this invisible. You're like, look at my arm. You
Look at the microphone.
And of course, the Raptor and the leader in the red shirt. It is Jack Smeaton and the Raptor. So yes, great to have you all here, and thank you to everybody in the comments. So thank yous to Dragster and Jaden and everyone else who made some comments and said hello. We appreciate everything you do, and we shall see you again next time. So thank you very much.